Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. How are you doing? I am your host, Chris Mallard, the amazing Super Chris. I hope you're having a great week so far. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of October. I was prepared. Wednesday, the 23rd of October, hump day. One of my favorite days if you're into humping. Today could be hump day for me. I don't know. We'll find out later. I hope you're ready for the weekend. We're kind of halfway there. I myself am always ready for the weekend. I got a lot going on though, and I want to share some things with you. Let me do this. This is bothering me, but there we go. I got some things going on I want to share with you. To start, before we get too far carried away into the show, we're actually working on a... Hold on a second. What's wrong with you, Chris? Say hi to everybody first. Good morning, everybody. Scott Duke, thank you for joining us this morning. Dave, Simply Secular Dave, thank you for joining us. Nice to have you with us this morning. And Mark, nice to have you. You're early today. You're, kind of early for you, isn't it? Good morning, Mark. Thank you for joining us. And of course, Cuddly Unicorn. Thank you, Cuddly Unicorn. Thank you to everybody who's watching this morning on the show and everybody who's watching on Twitch. We got folks watching on Twitch. It's amazing that Twitch is doing so good. I appreciate, I need to get I think I got somebody hooked up with moderatorship yesterday. Because we didn't have any moderators on Twitch before, and we found out what happens when you don't have moderators on Twitch. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Thank you. I hope you had a great night last night, and hope you're ready for a great Wednesday. Okay, let me catch up on the chat here and see if there's anything. Cuddly Unicorn. Okay, early at 6. Oh. Hump day is for everyone. Self-care is important too. Even if you're just humping yourself. I'm down. Yeah, I'm all about that. It's about release. Okay, good morning, everybody. So I want to talk to you guys. We are going to put on another show in the evening. I know it's we've been threatening to do it for a while now. I've been threatening to do it for a while now, and I found a partner, and it looks like we're gonna give it a shot, and we're gonna start putting on another show in the evening, the Daily Atheist Morning Show, nighttime edition. So we're gonna call it the Damned Show. Thank you. I did that all by myself. Thank you. So we're gonna do the Damned Show, and we're gonna start it Friday night, and it's gonna start at 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 o'clock Central Mountain Time. Friday, and it's going to be me and Scotty. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Scotty. If you're not, you will be. And it's going to be more political focused. Some religion always comes up on the show, but especially as we get closer and closer to the election, so it'll sort of be laid out like we're doing now, except for there'll be me, Scotty. Now, I'm really going to kind of help get the show started, but this is going to be more oriented towards the atheist community. So Scotty will host, I'll host, we may find other people to pop in and host. I'm trying to gear it up to where other people can also run the Streamlabs on the show. That way I don't have to do everything, and we can split up the labor on it. Make it easy for everybody. Make it fun. And, because I got time I want to spend with my wife. You guys are all right, but, usually in the evenings I want to spend time with my wife. Fortunately, though, by 7 o'clock, we've got our, eating done and our show watching done and all that business. So that's kind of a good time. We'll see how that works, etc. But I got a link down there below. Now, right now, I've changed everything to where it does say the Damned Show, but the I don't have a thumbnail yet. I got to get with Scotty, get a photograph from him, and work up a thumbnail for the Damned Show. So, guys, go do the thing. Subscribe, or if you're not already a subscriber, but go over there, click the link in the thing to that show, make it notify, and join us Friday night for our first edition, our premiere of the Damned Show. Now, we have a lot of friends in our community, and we have a lot of people who stream possibly at that time. I have done zero research as to whose toes I'm stepping on. Okay? So bear with us as we adjust and we learn. And, this is just a test run. It may not develop into a 5-day-a-week show, but that's the goal, is to get it to where it's a 5-day-a-week show in the evenings where we talk politics and religion and have us a good time, Good morning, Biden stinks. You really must feel passionate about it to name yourself that. Good morning. Thank you for joining us over on Twitch. Nice to see you there. Thank you. Let me... I'm a bad man. I'm a very bad man. Anyway, so that's kind of what we're doing. Please, if you don't mind, go over there. If you're friends of the show, click on the thing, go over there, and then click the notify button and let it remind you. And if you're familiar, I got that Biden stinks over on Twitch. I did get that. Yeah, that was subtle. That you do not like Biden. But it's at least apparently so far 2 sentences into it and a name. You're not ugly about it so much, I mean, but Biden's not really even in the game anymore. Do you maybe want to change that to Kamala sucks? I'm just saying. I mean, because I'm just thinking, he's not even in the race anymore. Just a thought. I guess our poll vote is still up from the other day. Do you guys want to still vote on it? We got 7 votes. If you didn't vote on whether or not you voted, go vote, people. Go vote. Actually, it's important to make sure you can vote. Go make sure you're registered, that make sure your state hasn't kicked you off the rolls, conservatives haven't done any of those things, etc. Okay, yeah. Doesn't surprise me at all. Good comment there. Biden stinks, says, I believe Kamala is an extension of Biden, in my opinion. Yeah, I get that. I can see why you would think that. Let me go here. Poll off. So if you guys are into the poll, let's just, go ahead. So today I want to briefly, I like to do a little bit of news. Pavel D, good morning. You're registered and you just checked. Thank you, Pavel D, for checking and making sure you're ready to vote. The more people vote, the less likely it is these right-wing people will be taken out of power. That's what we need. Simply Secular Dave says that they're in the same party and that the party has an alignment of issues. Sure, yeah, I kind of get that. I wasn't really going to go too much into the Biden-Harris thing. How do you check if you registered? Ask Biden stinks. Good question, Biden stinks. I would search the Google and look for in your particular state, region, or, part of Russia. I'm kidding. We get Russian trolls a lot in here. I say they're Russian trolls. You'll get it. You'll see. If you hang around enough, you'll see what I'm talking about. But check your local state. Go to Google, maybe search for your state, and then make sure you're registered somehow. I'm sure there's some way. I encourage voting. I encourage registration. I am not an expert on it. My wife does it. She does it all for me. The evil one, if you're familiar with the show, the evil one. Biden stinks, says, ha ha ha, I'm an American, not Russian. I'm glad you get it, though. That's funny. You get it. That's awesome. Yeah, the wife does all the voting thing. She, to be honest, for all I know, she's putting my vote for a goat out in the field. She brings it over and I sign it. No, it's bad. But no, when it comes to all that business, the wife knows when to register, make sure we're registered, and takes care of all that because she's smarter than I am. So and she's watching, so I gotta butter her up. But wherever you are, go make sure you can vote. Go make sure you still can. If you haven't voted, do the thing at the place with the stuff for the people. You are the people. Scotty said, all right, he changed his sir. Yes, there you go. Good. Or Scott Duke says change. Yes, excellent. Let me catch up on the chat. Okay, registered. Gotcha. Registered. American not. Okay. Scott Duke says, in fact, I voted yesterday. It was like returning to 1982. I went and voted in person last year. Was it last time we went and voted in person? We went and voted for something in person. Not last year, but last election. Anyway, we went and voted in person, and it was interesting experience. Easier than I thought it was going to be. Easier than when I went and voted for Obama. Because I voted for Obama twice. Not once, but twice. Let's see. Do you also, Simply Secular Dave asked, do you also believe that Trump is an extension of Putin or of the rich elites that he gave trillions in tax breaks to and has on his agenda to repeat if he comes into power again? Yeah, you assume that's a pretty legitimate question, really. If Kamala, appreciate that Biden stinks, and you feel that way. I don't appreciate that Biden, you know what I mean. I appreciate that you feel like Biden stinks, but he's actually done pretty good. When you go look at every measure, our economy and country has done better. Really, we really have. Don't listen to the right-wing news about it. Go look at Objective News or anywhere. Go look. Just go look. You seem pretty sharp. Go look. We're better off with Biden than we were with Trump. It's just so. But knowing what we know now about Trump and Putin's relationship, and it's certainly the fact that they've been in bed since before the 2016 election. Remember, that's what the Mueller report kind of pulled out. Was it Trump and Putin were in bed, and then Trump gave Putin, personally gave Putin COVID tests. Whenever Americans were dying of COVID, he was sending COVID tests to Putin. And then they've been communicating and all this stuff. Really, you can't not know that Trump is an extension of Putin. Trump comes out and talks about how Ukraine is bad and we should not be supporting them against Putin. Right? And so how can you... I'm also a small business owner. See, that's one of the things, a good question about people out there who are going, they think Trump was better for the economy than Biden was. They go watch videos. There's videos that'll extract because it takes too long, right? But Biden has done so much better for our economy than Trump did. It's just kind of, that's another, see, you're putting more misinformation in there. By the time Biden took office, Trump had downplayed and put up the cooties and made things so bad that, of course, whenever Biden come into office, it took a little while to get the thing under control. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on there. I think our chat needs to take care of that because it's getting kind of fast here. But recently, let's talk about recently. This is what I want to talk about recently. We can talk about that other stuff too. We'll continue. I'll try to keep up with the chat. I can't wait till I get super chats because the chats goes too fast. It's hard to... And, that's when you get super chats. Anyway, so as you guys know, earlier this week, Donald Trump, and I'm just playing on the irony of the thing. I don't really think there's any kind of thing. But apparently God has smited McDonald's for playing nice with Donald Trump because, as you've probably seen, Donald Trump worked at McDonald's allegedly, right? He showed up at a McDonald's. He went beside. It was closed down. They pretended it was open. They had fake people going through the drive-through. But when you go watch, the man he goes and he does all this pretend, but he's serving French fries and doing all this work. The king of the plague rats, right? From the 2016 to 2020, whenever he downplayed the virus and he got the virus and he got the best science to get it. And then he comes out there and he takes off his mask and he encourages people to get together. And he just helped spread the virus among our people the whole time. This guy shows up at McDonald's, pretends to serve French fries and food to people with no mask, no hairnet, no gloves on. And the next freaking day, there's a E. coli outbreak from McDonald's. What is that saying? What is God saying to people? What is God saying to you about Trump? Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so the very next day, there's an E. coli outbreak at many states. Of course, obviously, Trump couldn't have anything to do with it, and we don't believe in God, so we know God didn't smite McDonald's, but it's freaking hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. I'm sorry about the people who've suffered from the E. coli. Obviously, we feel bad for that. But considering all the harm Donald Trump has done on the country and intends to do on the country, then he goes down there and pretends to work at a McDonald's. The reason, do you know why he's doing that, right? He's mocking Kamala Harris because she actually did truly work at a McDonald's. So he went down there and he's actually claimed she pretended to work at a McDonald's, and then he goes down there and literally pretends to work at a McDonald's. Let's see. Trump stands up for business. How? Let's see. Putin has blackmail on Trump. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Putin has blackmail on Trump. Absolutely. Yeah. Really, you should just read the Mueller report. And you can remember the news from the Mueller report whenever Donald Trump was all trying to quash it, replace the people, make sure the investigation was shut down. He did everything he could. Why? Why would he do that? Biden stinks. You can't post links, but sorry. Yeah, it just doesn't do the thing. I got you. Good morning. B-movie was a mistake. Thank you. What do you mean by Trump? That's a great question. Let me catch up on the chat. It's kind of going, maybe, I don't know. What do you mean by Trump? So uninformed. Yeah, it sounds like remember I made the joke about a Russian troll? It actually, the more they speak, this individual, the more it's like, oh yeah, this is absolutely a MAGA misinformation. There was a news report out that Russia is putting a ton of money into spreading misinformation about the upcoming election for Trump. About Tim Walz, about Kamala Harris. Yeah, no surprise. Vladimir Putin, or Vladimir Putin, or Vladdy Daddy, as Trump calls him, is keen and eager for Trump to get back into office. And the reason why is because when Trump gets back into office, he'll shut down whatever military support we have going on for Ukraine. Putin will be able to take over Ukraine and have his way with Ukraine, do whatever he wants to, and then he won't stop at Ukraine. We all know that. But he'll also, by that point, have Trump's support. And so, yeah, Trump is absolutely a support. What is it? Sycophant? Clearly a sycophant. He is a Putin puppet. A puppet for Putin. Putin's puppet. Vladdy Daddy. Papa Putin. Chat's going live pretty fast. He asked for a source. How can I show these claims? Poll going on. Have you voted? Let's see. Let's check our poll here. In person, yes. Okay, not yet, but going to. Okay, cool. We still have only one person who says they're not going to vote. I'm going to leave that up on the screen. It kind of bugs me because it takes away from the beauty of me. Like you can't see this tiny little fraction of my arm over here. Anyway, but I'll leave that up. You guys are talking about that stuff. What do you mean by God? Oh, that's a great question. That's good. It's getting good in the chat. It's getting good. All right, guys. Now, it appears we have both Trump supporters and possibly a believer in the chat. That's cool. We dig it. That's cool. We're a bunch of mostly left-wing liberal atheist nutbags. Be nice. No name calling, no threats, and my moderators won't have to bounce you. Okay? So we love debate. We love talking. You know, you can even say my ideas are stupid. You start calling me stupid and somebody's going to bounce you. I mean, I may not bounce you. Somebody might bounce you. Don't call people stupid. Don't personally attack them. Don't threaten them. And be nice. Okay, guys? So we'll move on from that. What do you mean by God? Ask B-movie was a mistake. Which God? I think maybe also a valid question. Which God are we talking about? So let me go to these things here. I just kind of want to show you on the screen. Up here we've got Trump working at McDonald's. Then the next day, McDonald's E. coli outbreak across many states. Clearly couldn't have been Trump. But, you sit here and you watch the guy. Again, the plague rat of 2020. Come on, where's your picture? Damn you. Here he is. Working, selling fries, no mask, no hairnet, no gloves. Ooh, and of course, I told you earlier, I had heard that all the people going through the drive-thru were actors. It was a fake. The whole thing was set up, right? So they went with a person of color, gladly accepting their French fries from Donald Trump in his work release program. Anyway, it's one of those. They got rid of the Hamburglar and got themselves a different felon. Anyway, so that was all fun for the whole family. I wanted to share that with you guys, and it made for a great thumbnail. Why did Putin? See, that's great. Biden stinks says ha ha ha. Cope harder. Why did Putin endorse Kamala? Really? I mean, he didn't endorse Kamala, first of all. And it was a joke, actually. And then what would happen if he did? Like, why, I mean, he's behind the scenes done everything he can to help Donald Trump. And then one of the things that could potentially right now help Donald Trump is endorsing Kamala Harris. So by Putin endorsing Kamala Harris, and even in a joking fashion, that's helping Donald Trump. You know that, right? Trump and Putin sitting in a tree. Kissing. Yeah, I can see them there in their little room. They're not falling for it. Comrade. I wish I could do a better Russian accent. I'm going to have to practice. I'll be walking around, comrade. Look at my comrade dogs. My stupid comrade dogs. So I can get a good Russian accent. So whenever we get the little Russian trolls in here. And it's odd, if you're really just a MAGA supporter, and yet it's so easy to confuse your words with the words of a Russian troll. Doesn't that make you question your position at all? Just kind of curious. I know. Use your reason, you and I do it wrong every damn time. Use your reason, Leonidas. You've seen the movie. I really got to work on that. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Trump supporters are dumb, says Pavel D. That's a personal observation. He didn't say you in particular were dumb. Yeah, don't call them names either. Let's see here. Not your echo chamber. This is, Biden stinks. I've had a lot of coffee this morning, so let me slow down for just a second. Simply Secular Dave, talking to Biden stinks, says, not in your echo chamber. But in the reality of a world that we all experience and share, it has been debunked. And what he's referring to is all this stuff, I think, that our friend Biden Stinks here is... I see his posts, or I think he may have got himself moderated out, maybe. Hey, HH Beatmaker, thank God I wasn't born this guy. You talking about me? Well, I'm kind of glad you weren't too, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to go thanking God. Let's talk about it, though. Yeah, let me catch up on the chat here. I can see it now. It was like the one guy was like, hey, Gregor, this guy, he banned me from channel. You go get on channel in other name. And Gregor go, okay, I go get on channel. Thank God I was not born this guy. You know what I mean? Good morning. So now, on with the personal attacks. Hitmaker, thank God I wasn't born this guy. Yes, it looks like the one gentleman was... Scotty, good morning, Scotty. This is Sparta. Thank you. You got the reference. See, he always gets the awesome references. HH Beatmaker says, I hope Kamala wins so she can keep fun Ukraine. Keep fun Ukraine. Another 4 years of support. Putin will take half Ukraine. Your hatred of Russia is greater than your love of Ukraine. I hope. Yeah. That's Gregor. Gregor's like, I told him. Do you see? I told him. I hope Kamala wins. So I hope Kamala win. I hope it didn't even. All right, so let me just read it literally as it's written. I hope Kamala wins so she can keep fun Ukraine. Another 4 years of support. Putin will take half Ukraine. Your hatred of Russia is greater than your love of Ukraine. That's cool. You know what I mean? It's cool. We got our own Russian trolls. I mean, it's traffic. I'll take it. You guys carry on. Pastor Dean is here this morning. Good morning, Pastor Dean. I was worried you weren't going to make it. I thought maybe we had sinned too much. The Trump McDonald thing was just a troll because she said she worked at McDonald's, so he was just trolling Epic. That's epic trolling? That's epic trolling? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no. I mean, it's like the epic fail if you want to go there. Let me see. Oh, he went to the attack, so you timed out. I understand. Thank you, Dave. The account was created in the last 24 hours. Thank you, Dave. Yes, I mean, people laugh. I should create a poll saying, are you a Russian troll? Blink twice if you're a Russian troll and you don't want your comrades to know. Damn plung, excuse me. Let's see. Cuddly Unicorn says, no, they aren't kissing each other. I have it on good authority. Putin is pissing on Trump. Well, maybe not Putin, but perhaps some of his female, what are they called? Oh, damn it. It starts with an E. Escort. That's the word. I didn't want to use the P word. Whatever that word is. Anyway, so let's see here. Pastor Dean says the Trump... Okay, epic troll. That's right. Yeah, he is an epic troll. Simply Secular Dave says that was some pretty awful trolling. It made him look like a buffoon to anyone who's ever worked at a fast food restaurant. And it was completely set up. It was all a fake, just like Donald Trump. And his complaint against her originally was that he was just saying that she didn't really, or it was all just, made up, or it was just a political stunt. And here he is literally doing a political stunt. The man is worthless trash. Trash. Look at the trees. Good morning. Where have you been? I mean, come on. I'm not supposed to do this all by myself. How can I do this without you here? Where have you been? Good morning. Look at the trees. Thank you for joining us. Catch up on the chat. It was to point out that she never worked there and is a liar. But she did. Chris, why does your Leonidas sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger? Well, I need to work on it. Every time I always screw up the word Leonidas. Use your reason, you Leonidas. See, I almost did it again. Leonidas. It's use your reason, Leonidas. I'll get it right. No golden kink shaming. No. No, we would never. Trees was so triggered he closed a McDonald's and pretended to work there. That's right. So what if, Pastor Dean, what if it's true that she really did work at McDonald's? You're sitting here saying in the chat, this is easily disprovable. You can go find out for yourself. It says, it was the point out that she never worked there and is a liar. So go find out for yourself. If she did work there, who's a liar? Are you now spreading misinformation? Is your name Ivan or Gregor? I'm just curious. Let's go on here. Kamala should tell Trump that she worked in prison. The deal is, though, the first time he goes will be the last time. He'll never get out. Scott Duke says, hello, look at the trees. Get Damn Show merch. We do have Damn Show merch. There's links. It's about weed mostly and cat gods, but we'll get there. I'm gonna start creating. I had an idea. I had an epiphany this morning, a stroke of genius, if you will. And so I'm gonna work on some merch, given a little bit of time. Let me pop our poll back up just for kicks and giggles. And the wife is home today. The evil one is home today. So there's no puppy cam. They're all in there with her. So, I mean, sorry guys. No puppy cam. They turn their back on me as soon as she's here. They hate me and want me to die. Pastor Dean says, I already have done the research. We have the receipts. She's not even black. Candace Owens has all the receipts. You make my head hurt. It makes my head hurt. This is completely not right. First of all, obviously, if that were true, it would be everywhere all the time. Fox would be running shows about it all the time. It'd be everywhere. It'd be freaking huge, absolutely huge. I hadn't even heard that was a thing, really, outside of Donald Trump's little stunt. And now you come in, swinging. I just don't think that's right. I don't believe you. Pasturbation. Hey, let me go here. Scott Duke says, I worked at a Burger King in 1983 and I put on 0 resume application. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, you don't brag about something like that generally. Now, the reason, obviously, why she would be talking about that is because she's trying to exemplify how she went from the beginning, from nothing and worked her way up. So you're still voting for her, though, Pastor Dean. That's the evil one. The evil one speaketh. Yes. Sorry. You're voting for Kamala Harris. Okay, that makes sense. Candace Owens doesn't have 2 brain cells to rub together. Candace Owens is like a female Uncle Tom. Is that a bad reference? Am I too old? Is that an unfortunate reference? You'll have to educate me. I will be willing to correct myself and flog myself with a cat of 9 tails if I'm using an out-of-date reference. But I believe that's an accurate reference for her. Yeah, because Candace Owens is just absolute. I find her to be disgusting for everything she represents. Stephen, SS1964, says, Clandis is sewer such. Clandis. That is fantastic. Clandis Owens. I mean, that's fantastic. She wouldn't be wearing a white hood. She'd be lighting the torches for him, though. If you know what I mean. Okay, I gotta see. I'm thinking the wrong thing. I know I've got to go find a proper reference. Oh, no, it's not that. It's not that. Not Uncle Tom. Maybe it's something else. I'll think of it. She's betraying her own race. I'm old. If Aaron Ra were to run for president, that is who I would vote for, says Mark. I would vote for, I don't know, I would want to know his position. Actually, I was watching a video from his just this morning about watch out for the right wing. They are after your rights. And I enjoyed it. He was absolutely spot on. He and I are like this. Aaron and Chris sitting in a tree. Kissing. Remember that guy that called me gay yesterday? Just talking about me eating dick. I'm like, what's wrong with dick? I love dick. Dick's wonderful. You cannot insult me by calling me gay. It's just not going to work. I just couldn't get into it, without the. Let's go here. Boom. Fact. facts right there, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, I know. I know some of them, those that I can remember. Cuddly Unicorn says Mike Lindell likes the Mustache Man. He does. He, in fact, in a way, was the Mustache Man. Then he shaved the Mustache Man off and went and verbally assaulted a teenager at a convention. You saw the video, right? It takes almost no effort to get these people to embarrass themselves. It's just, and here's the deal. I've said this once. I've said it 1,000 times. These people have no shame juice in their brain. There's a little part of our brain that squeezes out that shame juice, and Mike Lindell, he cannot have. I mean, his shame juice squeezer is broken or gone. Yes, thank you. Simply Secular Dave says, we are all the same race. She may be betraying her own people. I get it. The nomenclature may escape me at the right moment, but what I mean, of course, is, right, obviously. If there were a person if the white people were to try to take away the rights of black people to no longer be slaves, she would be on the side of those white people. However you want to word it. Chris Mallard says, don't listen to that guy. He's a jackass. Mark says, my haters, you're so gay. Me, you say that like it's a bad thing. I know, right? That was part of the deal. Yes, that was part of the deal. Let me turn this off. There we go. They would be calling me names and saying things about, like I'm just things you can't insult me with, I have friends who are trans. Calling me a trans person or saying something about me as if I'm trans is not an insult. Sorry. And that's where they were going. I just like the idea of going, talking like I'm gay. Hey, man, what do you got against dick? Dick is delicious. Have you never tried it? You've tried it. Clearly, you've tried it. You talk about it all the damn time over here in my chat. Here I am. We've got a new viewer. Got a naranja. Orange Cat, thank you for joining this morning. Thank you for joining this morning. Hi, I hope me talking about dick was not the first thing you ever saw. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm not against it, but we got better things that we talk about generally. I don't know, unless you're really like dick. It just depends on your position on dick. Good morning to the new viewers. We're doing good. The wife bought me a coffee this morning on top of the coffee I already had, so I'm kind of bouncing my titties off, as Robin Williams would say. But I do have some stuff to actually talk about and view. I would like to view with us. We've had the conversation come over. Now that we've talked our politics, we're going to kind of segue into Arnold Palmer's dick. Good morning, Pope's Socks. How are you doing? Are you doing okay this morning? Are you holy? Would be the question, I guess. Pope Socks. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see everybody. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We just broke 2K yesterday, and we're now on to 100 million K. And I'm excited about that. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Cuddly Unicorn says Aaron Ra is needed in Texas to fight Christian nationalism. Aaron Ra is needed everywhere for that purpose, all over the country for that purpose. Yes, indeed. Who are you talking to? Yes. Oh, I see the rest of your question. Gata Naranja. Didn't know I'd figure that out, did you? Anyway, Orange Cat, I was talking to you guys. It's a live show. Yeah, it's a live kind of interactive show. I just kind of rattle, mostly. I do occasionally have things to talk about, but a lot of times I just interact with the folk in the chat. It's fun. Pastor Dean says, in the grand scheme of things, you are the one that talks about circumcision on how it's a blood ritual for Christians, which is a complete lie. Well, actually, imagine, if you will, it's a matter of me exposing something. I'm exposing it for what it is, see? And a great many Christians do actually do the circumcision thing. A great many of them. And it's also part of their original teachings. So go watch the video and, go watch it. It's one thing, though, it's literally a blood connection. It's a blood agreement between one person and God to have a circumcision. That's what it is. It's an agreement. It's like cutting, like you were going to sign a contract, and instead of using your signature, you cut off the end of your penis and then use the bloody tip to stamp it, and now you've made the agreement. You take what you want for it. That's my, Let's go up here for just a moment. Let's see something here. Let's go this. We're here. We're going here. Because I'm gonna let Christopher Hitchens. We're gonna talk about it. I got to be honest. I haven't watched this video. I've probably seen it a long time ago, but I haven't watched this video today. I just found it this morning. I kind of went like this. I went scrubby. It's basically all him talking rather than somebody else doing the stuff in one of those videos. So I did that. Now we're gonna watch this together because the question has often come up about morality and where we as atheists get morality. And I mean, the notion that Christians have any claim to the right of what is moral and what is not is absolutely insane based on the book they learn from. Here we go. Good morning, Foreskin Tucker. That's a good one. Thank you for joining us this morning, Foreskin Tucker. If you're not subscribed, that kind of caught me off guard, but sorry. Good morning, Foreskin Tucker. Please, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Look at the tree. Says bloody penis snubs were the first recorded bingo daubers. That's right. Wavy Boy 69 from Twitch says, what if when you die you get in a time loop of your memories like an endless dream, hence paradise of hell? That paradise over. Either one. Yeah, that would be an interesting phenomenon. That would be interesting. That would suck, I guess. It would suck. Especially if you didn't have a choice as to which one you were going to get, the paradise or the hell, ever since I started this one medication, I've been having dreams that are really badass. Sometimes I'm on a cruise ship and stuff. So if I was like passed and that was my paradise and I'm on a cruise ship with my old lady and my dogs, yeah, okay, that'd be cool. But the odds, I've never been that lucky. Pastor Dean says Americans circumcised their little boys as a cosmetic surgery, then sell the foreskin as high-end cosmetics because of the elasticity. You know nothing. Yeah. Yeah. That's a question I've asked. That's a question I've asked before, Cuddly Unicorn. Pastor Dean, if we were made in the image of God, what do we need? Why do we need to remove our foreskins? To appease his wrath, or to make a covenant with him, Why not our pinky, like one of those gangsters or something? Why our dicks? And, again, I gotta say, if that's the covenant you make, that's the agreement you make to tell what kind of religion you are, then in future situations, whenever you encounter other people, how do you show them that you're a member of their tribe or their religion? You could tell them, I'm a member. Or you could show them, you're a member. You know what I mean? And in this case, it's not like a secret handshake. You do this, you do this, you do this, you knuckle bump at the end, and they know that you're a Jew. No, it's like, oh, hey, look at my dick. Isn't that at all like weird? That's weird. Anyway, people have been saying, let me catch up here. Pastor Dean, if we were in an image of God, yes. Is there Al? But what do you mean by Al? I don't know. If you call me Betty. All right, let's see. Feel free to make response videos with your reasons and evidence. Some of us would make them to address your opinion. Yeah, Pastor Dean, you're welcome to go do that voodoo that you're going to do. I'm going to watch this Christian thing here with this Chris Hitchens.
But take the simplest case about whether our morality is innate or not. And every time I'm asked this question, if you didn't believe in God, how would you know what was good and what wasn't? Every time I'm asked to speak on this, the Daily News allows me to give a different answer, give a different example. Take the simplest case of what I believe is innate, our instinct for our children. You don't have to be a parent to have this. You see a child trying to rush into the traffic. If you're not a parent, something tells you what you probably ought to be doing about it. The care and love and protection of children is instinct in us, in fact in many other species too that don't claim to be divinely ordered around. It's something we all share without having to have it explained to us. We may say that that those who don't have it, the psychopaths who don't seem to have it or who take delight in breaking this commandment or rule, we say that they're bestial, but again I refer you to the animal kingdom that doesn't allow such transgressions. Now, our whole culture is currently being convulsed, rightly I think, over an offence committed more than 3 decades ago against a young woman of 13, a girl of 13, by a famous man who was stupid enough to try and sue Vanity Fair and thus incurred my curse and displeasure. It's good that such an argument can go on for so long, I think, legally and morally, because it shows that individual rights are paramount too, just as it was right that France should convulse itself and suspend all other business until the question of Captain Alfred Dreyfus had been settled one way or another. It shows not just that justice is important, but that the individual is the only unit of currency in which this kind of thing can be discussed. Now, the very best I found you can say in Mr. Polanski's defense would be that there was some kind of sick complicity involved, that either the girl or her ambitious parents or the general context of permissiveness or something of the sort gave him the feeling that it was probably okay or not that bad to give her a muscle-relaxing drug as well as some booze. And then don't ask yourself why he wanted her muscles relaxed, please, because then you'll have to read the court transcript and you'll find out. And it's pretty horrifying. And I think people are quite right to be instinctively outraged, to think, no, if I can think of the worst thing I've ever done, you're already thinking of it. The thing about yourself you'd least like to have generally known? Complete silence.
I love B.C. Hitchens. I really do. He's such a good debater, a good example. Remember, he's the one who kind of got me into the thing. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. SS1964 says, look up H.K. Edgerton and play that video where he's defending slave ownership status while wearing a KKK conservative Confederate garb. Yep. Yeah, something for futures, it sounds like. The Jews did it as a ritual, according to Pastor Dean. And because they were in the desert, they didn't take too many baths and would cause infection. Poor skin is a high-end market. I think foreskin is what he means, but poor skin. Hello, Kentucky Atheists. Thank you for joining us this morning. Nice to have you. We've got a couple Russian trolls joining us this morning, and then there's Pastor Dean. Yeah, it's fun. And we've got some other people. So I'm going to continue on with the Chris Hitchens. Let him do his magic.
Very satisfying. Most of you, I imagine, are thinking, yeah, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't. And I would. No one needs to tell me why I wouldn't have either. So that's all I want to say about that. But I'm much more outraged currently by what happened not 3 decades ago, but 3 weeks ago to Miss Fawzia Youssef.
You know, I want to kind of catch up here a little bit. Biden stinks has resorted to just ad hominem attacks. Thank you very much for that. Dave, you're willing to bounce him anytime you want. I can do without that. Yeah. And then let's see. We got Liminal has shown up. Good morning, Liminal. Ye who are of light. We're drowning in polls. They're easy to spin and manipulate. That is a good point. A very valid point, I think. I wouldn't be surprised if the polls are the latest disinformation tool of choice. And now Biden stinks has said retarded gays. Poor old fuck. Yeah, and now he's just resorted to the name calling. So, there we go. Yeah, just kind of proving the point. Let me just check our thing here. Yeah, that's a good point, Liminal. Yes, it is a good point. I wouldn't be surprised if the polls are the latest disinformation. Even, I'm on my side, right? I'm on the left side. I'm on the liberal side. And the polls, it just depends. The polls keep saying that they're running neck and neck. And, if you're in my position or from my perspective, looking around the world and everything, and you're like, how could they possibly be neck and neck? Even on the left, the polls they're putting out are saying, oh, they're really neck and neck. And I think I have a tendency to believe, I don't know if it's true or not, but I kind of have a tendency to believe that they're just kind of playing that off. That the polls really are, it's really overwhelming for Kamala Harris, and they just don't want you to know that because they're afraid if you know that, you won't turn out to vote, and it'll slow the likelihood of the win. So they're willing to let that misinformation slide. I don't disagree with that necessarily. Let me catch up here. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Kentucky Atheist says, he's Scott, going good. Okay, gotcha. Hey, Scott, I think he means. HH Beatmaker says, at least you aren't angry, atheist. No, I'm not angry all the time. To me, atheism is your belief. Why do you non-believers spend so much time talking about things you don't believe in? That's a great question. I want to come back to that. Let me highlight that for just a moment. I will go check it out. Says, yes. Simply Secular Dave says, chill out. Biden stinks. Good deal. Cuddly Unicorn says, read your Bible, Pastor, and you will be atheist tomorrow. Yeah, chances are. Okay, I'll read it. And then thanks for that amazing advice. Yeah, that's you guys. Liminal says, I don't think they're neck and neck. I think his popularity is manufactured. Yeah, I think, you're not probably, either way. To some degree, one way or the other. Hers is downplayed and his is being upplayed. A bit of both. Look at the Tree says there's more money for the media outlets with a close race than a blowout. That's true too. Kentucky Atheist, okie dokie. Robert Madwell says, Pastor Dean, do you consider that what you're doing in the chat is part of your ministry? Yeah, maybe. He claims to have a ministry. God equals the square root of -1 says, can we please get more information on Arnold Palmer's dick? I was wondering that myself. I wasn't before. I don't know why it came up, but now I'm a little, let me do this. I have something in my mind that says, I don't know why my brain says that there's something in the paste that I need to paste. Cuddly Unicorn says, if you're a good person, Pastor, if you take off your God glasses, you will see God forsaken the monster he is. God for the monster it is. Yeah, it's horrific. You should really watch my videos again. Go through them, Remember, it's not me who has to put on a lens of hate to read this as a book of hate. It's you who has to put a lens of love and niceness on it to read it as a book of love and niceness. I'm just reading it out as it reads. Look at Chris Go, says Dave. Such an admirable job of keeping up with the chat. I'm trying. We're only at 26 viewers. It's not, we're doing good. Well, thankfully, I've got moderators really to help. Thank you, whoever helped to moderate over on Twitch. One of you guys took care of once they can't argue against our points, they start calling the names, right? Robert Madwell says, there's a reason I'm asking. I'm genuinely curious. Let me go back up and see what you're asking about. Oh, yes, you're the one I highlighted the question, I think, too. No. Okay, let me highlight that again. Robert, let me check out, see what Robert was asking. Bear with me one moment. Oh, he's asking Pastor Dean. Gotcha. He's talking to Pastor Dean. Okay, HH Beatmaker, you have a question. At least you aren't angry, atheist. To me, atheism is your belief. Why do non-believers spend so much time talking about the things they don't believe in? So I'm going to answer that for you, okay, as best I can, or at least from my perspective, and I think my perspective fits many of the atheists that you'll see. First of all, an atheist is just somebody who doesn't believe. So we're going to put that over there. Some guy walking down the street, he doesn't believe. He's not us. We are atheists who are kind of like more in your face. We're standing up against Christianity. So it's a different kind of, we're like outspoken atheists. Some people just don't believe and don't care. They're minding their own business. We're more in your face, liberal, left-wing kind of atheist kind of. So that's kind of part of it. Because my wife and my daughter are not birth slaves for your religion. Or not your religion, apologies. I don't know what your religion is, HH. I'm saying for Christianity. And Christianity is trying to force women in our country to be birth slaves. They want to take away their rights to do what they want with their bodies, regardless of whether it's rape, incest, etc. There's just so many, and it wouldn't be, they claim their interest is for the child, and yet they have no interest in helping the child post-birth, right, to begin with. And then they also tend to be pro-death. So these same people, though, are forcing their 10 Commandments on our church, on our schools, our church, if you will, on our schools, on our children in schools. The 10 Commandments in some places, the Bible itself in other places. They're limiting what books are taught or what things are taught. And those books that they're trying to get taken out of schools are often books that teach people that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be gay. It's okay to question what gender you are. Those are the books they're wanting to take out. There are others, but those are kind of like the kind. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of Christianity just right here in our face, up in our grill, trying to force itself on us. That is why non-believers are so vocal about something they don't believe in. The more Christians I can convince that their faith is just ridiculousness and get them away from Christianity to our side and bring them to the side of enlightenment and truth, the real truth, then the less of them will be voting for people who are going to oppress us. with their dogmas. So that's kind of why. We get that question a lot. Often I get hostile about it. They come in like, why do you care what Christians do? I'll tell you why I care. Because Christians are up in my grill. And I ain't going to put up with it. My daughter's not a birth slave. Yowza. Let me catch up with the chat here as best I can. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. Pastor Dean goes on about himself. I'm not even going to bother. Liminal says, we don't believe in things without satisfactory evidence. Thank you for that. It's literally as simple as that. That's a good point. Way to go. Kentucky Atheist says, I will hang on Twitch. I need to start messaging around over here. Messing around. Gotcha. Thank you for keeping an eye out over there, Kentucky Atheist. You know how it is. We're growing over there. There are going to be some... I'd like to think we're going to develop some Twitch naturals who just watch on Twitch, not YouTubers who occasionally go to Twitch and they just popping over there to moderate it for us. We'll find some Twitch naturals to moderate for us going forward. I appreciate you. Let's see here. I still got some Christopher Hitchens up here. Secular Dave says, hey, everyone, don't be afraid to like the stream before it ends. I'm pretty sure I like the stream. Share my craziness. Let me check and see how many subscribers. We hit 2,000 on the show yesterday. We was rocking right along. Let's see what's going on. How many we got today? 2016. We've gotten 16 subscribers since yesterday. Wow, there we go. And I got a video I'm going to drop today. I'm going to record and drop today. Matter of fact, the evil one is here. I always put things off. I find reasons. I'm like, oh, the show lasted till 10. Then I went and did my little chores. Now, I'm sleepy and I took a nap. And then I didn't have time to get but she's here today. She'd be going like, you need to record another video and you need to do it now. Then there'll be the sound of a tick as she tasers me, but it's out of love and it's kind of erotic, so don't judge us. Good morning, look at the trees. Oh yeah, there you are. And you said, and we have the government officials passing legislation based on the Bible. Exactly. And that's exactly why. Matter of fact, the video that I'm working on today, that I'm going to release today, my wife's going to be like, you talk too fast. The video I'm going to work on today is the top 10 reasons why Christianity is bad for society. And it's going to cover them attempting to mind fuck our children, to them influencing the vote, to try to turn our women into birth slaves with their ancient dogmatic, ritualistic bullshit. That's what the video is going to be about. OG today. Good morning, Taylor Knox. Nice to see you. First time I've seen your name that I know. Let me read your text here. Lots of magical wishful thinking. MAGA IQ approximately 65 to 70 tops. I love the way you talk. Yeah. To be honest, the thing, the saying. The average IQ is 100, and that means that half of them are below that. And I fully believe that the MAGA population represents a significant chunk of those in the... Thank you for joining us this morning, Taylor. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Catch my craziness. I want to... Now that we've got some people here, we got almost 30 people watching, I want to make another announcement so you guys are aware. Starting this Friday night, we're going to run a test show called The Damned Show. Now, this is The Damned Show, the Daily Atheist Morning Show. What we're going to do is we're going to do the Daily Atheist Morning Show Evening Edition. My little program went out. It does that. It limits me. The Daily Atheist Morning Show Evening Edition, starting at 9 p.m. Friday evening. It's going to be sort of like this. It's going to have me and Scotty to begin with, and we're going to talk politics and religion, but we're going to do it in the evening instead of in the morning. So I've got links down below. Go ahead, friends. If you're a friend of the show and you love me long time, go down there, click the link to The Damned Show, the premiere of The Damned Show, and then click the little notify button and join us Friday night, Every time, it's very hard to start a show and whenever you show up and there's nobody there in chat and it's just you and you're going, damn, we're here. So show up with us, man. Be friends and help us grow this thing. We're going to do it. And I don't know if you know Scotty. Scotty seems pretty cool. I've met him a long time ago, briefly. And then we've been talking lately about our ideas for the show and the community in the Daily Atheist. And I like the guy. He's got a lot of good points. I think you're going to like him too. I am the funny one, though. And I need you guys to always remember that. But yeah, we're going to try to team up and do a thing and have us some fun and have us an evening show. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I ought to do a poll and ask, hey, do you think we ought to do an evening, or would you enjoy an evening show? We're scheduled it for 9:00 p.m. Eastern time, but I haven't done any research concerning looking at other channels of our friends who we may be stepping over their feet. So if you know of any shows out there that run Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern to 10 p.m., we're just going to start for an hour. If it runs longer and we're having a good time, fine. But we're just going to squirrel away an hour right now. But if you know of somebody that's got a show that we're going to step on their toes, let me know and we'll put some consideration into the time. You know, it may just be like if it's The Line or something, they're really big. They ain't going to care. It's not going to hurt them. Let me catch up on our chat here. Good morning, Pragmatic Crystal. Thank you for joining us. Air hugs. You are so wonderful. Let me catch up here. Pastor Dean. You're talking to Pastor Dean, Robert. Thank you for getting on there. Duke says, good morning, Pragmatic Crystal. Pup cups are available for puppies. You know, if somebody does decide to go ahead and buy a pup cup over on the pup cup link, try to remember to vote for your favorite pup. And at the end of the month, we're going to have an Employee of the Month award. And so whoever gets the most pup cups will give to our. And of course, you can see the staff down here, right there. Damn it. There's a picture of the staff towards Troll Sue. So if you decide to do a pup cup, let us know who's your fave. Who you think has done the best job? I think Sadie does a really good job with the camera. She's fantastic. But you know, Ollie's done the computer graphics. So anyway, back on Point Man. Let's see. On Friday, that time slot doesn't really step on anything I watch. Good, thank you for that. Well, if it works, we're going to do it Monday through Friday. But this particular Friday we're going to do the premiere. We'll just kind of test and see how it goes and do stuff like that. So if you're available, guys, let me know. I'm going to read through here just to see if there's something I missed. Good morning. Guten Morgen. B-Movie was a mistake says, but what do you mean by hell? Do you mean Hellheim or the Christian purgatory? You're part of a conversation. You carry on. You go. Pastor Dean, what I'm looking for is I'm scanning for anybody who has a notion of any chats or any shows that I'm missing. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But because Pastor Dean and the chat, you guys are just going at yourself. That is fantastic. You guys, I really appreciate my chat folks who help watch those kind of things. Let me get back on Chris Hitchens now that we've got a moment. Boop, 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 boop.
A Yemeni girl who died in childbirth in a hospital in Yemen, hemorrhaging to death, trying to give birth to an already dead baby, the result of her having been married, compulsorily but legally.
I am mooted. Pragmatic Crystal says no misinformation in the chat, Pastor Dean. And I want to mention the Pragmatic Crystal because it's not. I'm really kind of tied up. But I got a ding earlier from the Evil One. And the Evil One said that she's not entertained and Pastor Dean needs to go. So I thought I'd mention that to Crystal because Crystal's like the ultimate moderator. And it wasn't, I didn't really mention it, you know, but it's just gotten worse. So you do what you got to do. And I appreciate you. Thank you. You're awesome. But, you know, if you want to let him continue to embarrass himself. This entire show is misinformation. It is porn for the mind, a complete retardation of reality. Keep living in front of your computers. Ask Christians, will get the work done. That's what he said. And hopefully that'll be the last thing he says. Awesome sauce, awesome. You guys are so wonderful. Thank you for putting up with me. Back to Christopher Hitchens. And, you know, I don't know if you know this. So before I forget, I often refer to my wife as the wife. The wife. Some women tend to get upset with that. Point one. Sometimes I refer to her as the evil one. Also, sometimes people tend to get upset by that. So I just want to clarify because I understand it. I am not a person who appreciates men oppressing their females. They're females. They're women. I sound like J.D. Vance now. They're Ferengi. They're females. No, but if you know us, you'll know it's like a joking personal relationship between us. She is the woman, like she's the wife, like to Sherlock Holmes is the woman. So when I say the wife, it's actually a compliment. Of all the wives in the world, she is the wife. Okay? And then it's kind of the same thing whenever I say the evil one. Because she's the evil one. If here's the little thing about us. If something is mine, it's of power. This is the phone of power. This is the lighter of power. This is the cup of power. If it's hers, it's of doom and despair. This is the phone of doom and despair. You know? So if you hear me say those things about her, don't worry. She's awesome. We're awesome. I'm not. And she's, she's wonderful. Here we go. Chris Hitchens. She's also watching, right? So you know.
At the age of 11. That's what happened to Fawzia Youssef on our watch. She died in childbirth, trying to give birth to a dead baby. Husband 3 times her age, who was legally married to her. As it's estimated, 1/4 of the young womanhood of Yemen already is. Married at the very, very latest by the age of 15. And though there have been moves in the Yemeni parliament to raise the age at which a young lady may be betrothed, these moves have been blocked, even as recently as last September after this outrage, by a political party, which I will not tell you the name of this political party, but it is not the Yemeni Secular Party.
Right.
In Iran, the age of consent doesn't come up, by the way, because there is no consent to any sex outside marriage in Islamic society. In any case, and many kinds of it are punishable by death. But the age at which a young girl may be married was moved up finally. The Islamic Revolution put it back to 9. I think it was moved up to 11, which you might say was progress of a kind. Now, you see, this isn't just backward countries we're talking about. And let's not beat about the bush. The Prophet Muhammad was betrothed to his favorite wife Aisha when she was 6. It wasn't thought fit that he could marry her then in the full sense of the term, but he put it off till she was 9. And across a vast swathe of the world, worse things than Roman Polanski has even thought of doing are done as a matter of law and of course, and in the name of, no, not in the name of, but because of the preachings of God's anointed.
See, here's the deal. One of the things I really appreciate about Christopher Hitchens is that he's got that fancy accent and he sounds really intelligent and smart. Now, I don't have that fancy accent, and I don't know if I sound fancy or smart or not. I sound like a Texan, maybe like a redneck. But oftentimes, we say the same things. I really appreciate the way he goes right for the darkest part of their shiny armor, this guy is my spirit animal.
The religious turn to you and you say, secularism must mean moral relativism. Your ethics are situational. And I say, well, let's just hear that again. Because given that I've taken the simplest moral baseline it's possible to take, the protection of defenseless children, isn't it true that all the leading religions of the world are Abrahamic? Yes, we love to stress it. We adore to say that we have all this wonderful multicultural thing in common. And what was Abraham most famous for, apart from having a wife who had a baby when she was 101, which is an advance over dying in childbirth when you're 11, having been raped, probably by a close male relative, if you really want the truth. Apart from that, Abraham's most famous for saying, if God wants me to kill my boy, of course I will. And the only difference between the monotheisms is that some say it was Isaac and some say it was Ishmael. I don't particularly care. But there are annual festivities on the part of the faithful to say, we wish we too were capable of such faith. And we want to beat our breasts in sympathy with those who are. Why?
Did you get what he said? That despite the horrific things that these people did in the past, there are those people now who wish they had the faith to do with those, like Abraham, being willing to give up his son, and whole religions and peoples and parties who sit around doing worship festivals, who praise and wish that they could be that strong in their faith. This is really dangerous thinking. It absolutely is.
Why do the Jewish people blow the ram's horn, the shofar? Because the shofar symbolizes the ram who is sacrificed instead. The blood sacrifice is the main thing, and there has to be a child involved. This seems to me to be disgraceful, and what's taken for granted that goes with it, because it was practiced on Isaac too in the form of a covenant and imitated by others, the genital mutilation of the young, to seal the pact with God, to say nothing matters to me, not the life or health or bodily integrity of my child, never mind that. What has to be proved is, without God I am nothing. I'll kill for it, and I'm not just willing to say that, I'm willing to prove it, and I'm willing to use my children's bodies as the theater of this enactment of faith? Well, civilization, in my submission, ladies and gentlemen, begins where that evil nonsense leaves off. And we have to advance the time when more and more people will be able to civilize themselves by outgrowing religion and leaving this awful nonsense behind.
I want to thank Crystal for posting a link to my top 10 reasons why Christianity is a blood cult. Go check that one out. It covers all the way from the Old Testament to the New Testament. They try to distance themselves from the Old Testament, but they can't really do it. So go check that out. It's a good video.
And with that...
Thank you, Crystal.
I think I've realized that if you haven't copped my drift by now, I might as well go and sit in that chair anyway. Very nice of you to come. Thank you.
You know, I hope someday I get the idea. I don't know if he's in the... I need to go watch the rest of this and see if he's in some kind of debate. I think he may be. If this is the debate with that rabbi. But, you know, I could sit there given 10 minutes to sit there and go off on the morality from religion. I do that all the time. But I go right for the whole incest and Lot and all that. I just go right for it too. So anyway, I am going to go grab me some coffee. Yes, thank you, Book of Ember. Book of Ember. Did you change your name? Your channel name? Or did my memory slip? Anyway, good morning. Yes, thank you for congratulations on reaching 2K. Actually, today, let me look and see where we're at now. Yesterday we hit 2K at just about the end of the show, and today we're up to 2,016 subscribers. So we've gained another almost 20 subscribers overnight since yesterday. So, and part of the deal is it's unfortunate, but I had a video that was going really good, top 10 reasons why Christianity is a blood cult, and it sputtered out. You know how YouTube videos do? They do really good for a while. Well, this one did really good, got me 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 views, and then, boop, it died. So it died this morning, and I need to drop another one. To keep my momentum up. So, but it's cool. Second channel, you have a video upload going. Good. We'll have to check out that other channel, Ember, and see what's going on there. I'm going to run a thing real quick and go get some coffee and let the wife eviscerate me for embarrassing her on the channel. Oh man, did I really do this thing? One moment. Oh, mama. Let's go here. Oh, but what the hell? Press home to unlock. You're making me angry. It's my fault for hitting the wrong damn button. All right, here we go. I'm going to run a thing for us. That'll give me a minute to go get some coffee. I will be right back. And think about your left-handed Jedi. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. I'm just going to take a quick break. You know me. It's 8 o'clock, 1 hour into the show. I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be back. I'm going to run this longer one because it gives me a little more time.
Evangelicals, Christians of every denomination, and believers of every faith have never had a greater champion, not even close, in the White House than you have right now. I think you know that. Jeffress?
Yes.
Prayer?
Let's pray together, may we?
Yes.
Father, I come to you in the name of Jesus.
Have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
Why do I have to, repent? Why do I have to ask for forgiveness?
Skillful and godly wisdom have entered into the heart of our president.
You ask a lot of stupid questions.
I have never seen a more biblical president than I have seen in Donald Trump.
So right now, let every demonic network...
You are the enemy of the people.
Let it be broken. Let it be torn down in the name of Jesus.
Here is the Republican platform.
And if you don't support me, you're going to be so goddamn poor.
If President Trump is not reelected,
here is the Word of God.
There is going to be a backlash against people of faith like we cannot imagine.
Where do you stand?
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay?
I watch a man that comes out and fights for righteousness.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. The Pope would have only wished and prayed.
Thank you, sir, for uniting our nation and calling us to prayer.
That Donald Trump would have been president.
I think the Pope needs to seek Donald Trump's forgiveness.
He's a pussy.
I think God put him there.
Get that son of a bitch off the field.
Let the angel of the Lord encamp around about him.
God raised up, I believe, Donald Trump.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God.
I don't bring God into that picture. I don't.
Romans 13 does give President Trump moral authority to use whatever force necessary.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of him.
You need to send in 35,000.
Including assassination assassination.
This book right here will tell you how to vote.
I'm confident that the Lord is at work here.
Grab him by the pussy.
He's had a change of heart.
Ridiculous bullshit.
If you do not write that P.O. box and you do not call that toll-free number, you're going to write your checks to Paula White Ministry. You will never see sustainment in your life, and your dream will die.
Trump is a test. Whether you're even saved.
They can act differently for different people.
Somehow God put him in this position.
And everybody said, amen.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
This is a hoax. This is a terrible hoax perpetrated on our country.
All right. I really appreciate the Lincoln Project for that commercial. That's wonderful. They put that together. Grab on by the Bible. I got a good Bible commercial for the, it's called the All Caps Bible for the newbies. I'll play that in a minute. I think you might enjoy that. Let me catch up here. We've got to see a couple of new faces in the chat. Let's see here. Oh, come on. Nice to see you. Oh, come on. I haven't seen that name before. Says Trump isn't a prophet, Muhammad is a prophet, and perhaps a false prophet. Perhaps. That would be where my money lies. But that's just me. And Ways to be Human. Nice to see you this morning. Ways to be Human. Interesting names we have. Good morning, PC. Pragmatic Crystal, Ember, Michael, and everyone I haven't met yet. Good morning to you. Thank you all for joining us. Cuddly Unicorn says Muhammad is a PDF file. This is what I know. It's like a song. You could sing it. Michael Bell says, good morning. Everybody's saying good morning. Okay, coolness. Yes. So let me catch back up over here. And we are up too. So listen, newbies, new people, new here. Go ahead, vote on our poll. Have you voted? If you haven't voted, go vote. If you're, and of course, now we have this poll going on to where, have you voted? Are you going to vote? If you see it here on the screen to my left, and the options are, yes, in person, yes, by mail, not yet, no, not voting, and not sure. So if you want to go ahead and vote for it, let me know. So far, we have 7 votes. The more people who vote, the better. For voting, of course. Mr. So Not So, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Saying Trump is a Christian is like saying the Pope is a Christian. Yeah, I remember you have interesting perspectives on that. I won't vote for Trump because he is a Christian, because he isn't a complete airhead like Kamala. Donald Trump isn't a complete airhead. I mean, let's stop at that. I mean, have you said that out loud? Say it out loud. It sounds weird, doesn't it? Just coming out your mouth. Donald Trump isn't a complete... You've watched him speak, I assume, anytime within the last 4 or 5 years, where he just rambles and spills hate and then can't keep a sentence and all this stuff. You've seen that, right? And you still think she's the airhead. Good morning, Mr. So Not So. Gregor. Let's see here. Ways to Human says, I saw you with Secular Rarity on Skeptic Haven the other day and found you here now. Any friend of SR is cool in my book. Thank you, Ways to Human. Don't forget to subscribe. I was going to have Secular Rarity on the channel, on the show, the morning show, but he's not much of a morning person. So, yeah. However, I'm going to start running a Daily Atheist nightly gathering. We're going to call it the Daily Atheist Morning Show Nightly Edition, or the Damned Show. And we're going to just put that on about 9 o'clock in the Eastern time. Maybe he might be interested in picking up on one of those. Good morning, Clano. I'm going to do Clano. Good morning, Clano. Yeah, after you put the vote, the exclamation vote, you have to put your response. So, yeah, let me put it back up there for you on the poll. Good morning. Thank you for joining us over on Twitch. Let me catch up here. HH Beatmaker says, what is your view on Kamala's recent visit to a black church and getting prayed over? Yeah, it's kind of typical, isn't it, for a politician to do something like that? She actually probably is a Christian. She's probably grown up in churches and done those sorts of things. And it's not really a surprise for her to do something like that. It was a surprise for Trump to do something like that, was it not? For Trump to go hold Bibles and have the police come tear gas protesters so he could hold a Bible up for a photo op? That's Trump, right? And then Trump is now selling his own Bibles. So having her getting prayed over by her church or a black church doesn't surprise me at all. That's mild and common and expected. I'd almost be surprised if she didn't, really. You know, I mean, let's see. Scipio. I hope I say that right. Scipio, Scipio. It seems like atheists are more cult than religious people these days. You know, I don't know. That's how many, I mean, so religious atheists are more, yeah, I just don't get it. The sheer number of Christians who go to church every Sunday is so voluminous compared to the number of atheists. And granted, we are growing faster than any other demographic, but we are sheerly outnumbered. And you're complaining? Let me catch up here. Mr. So Not So says, just a complete asshole. I'm not sure who you're talking about. You could be talking about me. Oh, Trump. You're talking about Trump. He isn't a complete airhead. He's just a complete asshole. Okay. Okay. Let me carry on. Black Church. Liminal says, an airhead suggests injecting disinfectant to treat a viral infection. Yeah. Scipio says, it seems like atheists are more of a cult. There you go. Clan X trying to vote. Book of Ember says SR is a pretty good judge of character. It's true. Yeah, I got along. We have very similar thoughts. I think he really enjoyed my my evil god monster, the God is an evil monster from hell kind of thing. That was good. Street Document says, hello, former Catholic, now atheist. Welcome. Thank you. Hugs. You're in a mostly safe place. Watching from San Diego. Nice. Thank you for joining us over there. Stay safe. Cuddly Unicorn says Trump lies every time he talks, but don't hold it against him. Yeah, I don't know if does he remember his train of thought is so. I mean, I have such a hard time. Listen to me. Just now, I started 3 different sentences, but I'm not running for president. And you know, he comes out and he has this mental vomit. He just kind of spews. He can't keep a thought. He lies. He's everywhere, all over the board. And then he says she lies and she's all over the board. She has mental problems. Is that not typical conservative projection? Yeah, Scipio, the only thing atheists agree on is that they don't believe in a God claim. That's really kind of the only thing. I know we realize that you're really talking about atheists who gather in groups and oppose religion. We know that's who you're talking about. You're not talking about just an average person. We go through this conversation all the time. So we kind of we're just going to have to maybe put a disclaimer. We know you're not talking about all atheists. Atheism, according to Scipio, is responsible for more suffering in the world than religion, and it isn't even close. Well, at least our chat's going to get interesting. I'm going to just roll down because I don't think I'm going to be... Yes. Thank you guys for taking care of that. Doc Smith says, you already sent in your absentee ballot. Way to go, Doc Smith. There, I got the vote up. So if you were going to vote, you would say, yeah, you've already voted. So you do your thing. That's awesome. I don't remember the name. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe. We're going to do the Daily Atheist Morning Show, and we're going to start doing the Daily Atheist Morning Show Nightly Edition, or the Damned Show. And for those of you who aren't aware, go ahead and subscribe. I've got a link down there. So you can come on Friday night. We're going to give it an initial run. So click the link, do the thing, go over there and click notify, and then Friday night, come join us. We're going to talk religion and politics. It's going to be me and Scotty. If you're familiar with Scotty, if you're not, you will be. And we're going to run the show. We're going to say it's going to be some fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to see how it goes. Having a little fun. And of course, Pragmatic Crystal, if you happen to know, if anybody out there happens to know if we run a show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., let's just say, Eastern time, is that going to step on anybody's shows that you know? I don't think that's on Neil. I don't think that covers Maya. I don't think it's covering up anybody that couldn't take it. You know, if it covers up the talk, the line one night, I think they can handle it. We're not going to hurt them, but I don't want to hurt one of our other small creators. Yes, Pragmatic Crystal says, accuse your opponent of that which you are guilty. It's their MO. It is their signature move. Lying, projection, right-wing projection. It's like if it was a video game and Donald Trump was a video game character, projection would be like one of his signature moves. It'd be like up, up, down, down, left, bang, and all of a sudden projection on his opponent, because they do it all the freaking time. It's their signature move. If he was a wrestler, oh no, here he comes. He's going to do projection. Yep, we saw that coming a mile away. He does it every time. Classic. It's a classic. We love it, Bob. Let me catch up on the chat here. Oh, the chat is going long. So we got Doc Smith, Scipio, Mikey Famine. Good morning, Mikey Famine. Thank you for joining us. Let me get the poll off real quick before I pull the poll down. Take a look. If you haven't voted, let me know. We've got 7 votes so far. You have to do apostrophe vote, then your a space, and then your choice, either person, male, soon, no, or maybe. The options are there on the screen. I know you guys. I'll leave it up so you guys can peep it. General Howdy from Mikey. Yeah. Look at the trees says he quotes Hitler rhetoric. Yeah. Yep. Street Document says of all the people in the United States, these were the best 2 for us to choose from. I won't vote for Trump, but I want more progressive politicians. You know, me too, really. I mean, I'm really proud of where Kamala Harris is going and how she's been considering what the options are on the left. You know what I mean? I think she's really... Yeah, and the fact that people have like, well, wait a second, your position has shifted over the years on this subject or on this subject. And I like the response that, well, you know, your position is supposed to shift as you gain more information and learn more about the circumstances, right? Because if you take a position on something and it's the wrong position, but you don't never take any, don't learn and change, you wouldn't want that in a leader. So, just there. Good morning, Mikey Famine, 1964. Hey, there we go. Serial lighting. True. Catch up. The chat is just slinging by. The Simply Secular Dave says 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. I may have misspoke. The morning show is from 9 a.m. to noon. The damned show at night is going to be 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So if I misspoke, that's right. Streamlabs, anything I don't like is a lie, says Cultists. Yeah, that's more projection. Signature move. Boom. Signature move. Straw man. I cast straw man. I cast fallacy. There we go. If you're a debate nerd, you know what those are, right? Sorry. All right, so yeah, there we go. Pragmatic Crystal has voted in person. You have voted in person. I wonder why it's not updating our numbers, but I don't care. Let me put that down and catch up on our chat here. Every accusation is yes. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at running the show. It's gonna be mostly, like I say, politics, and kind of like what we do in the morning. I don't know if we're gonna do. I think what Scotty and I were talking about doing is a little bit more newsy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know that I'm going to be there all the time. I'm going to help get it started, and we'll see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes. Ideally, it'd be a situation where, like I said earlier, we can have multiple hosts who come in and maybe rotate out, so no one person has to bear it all. We'll see, though. I'm funny son of a bitch. Every time I try to find another host, wife slaps me. She, well, why? She doesn't slap me. We're not into spousal abuse. Got to be careful what I say. She's like, why do you do that? They watch for your personality and you make them laugh. Why do you try to get somebody else? I'm like, I don't know, because I'm lazy. I want somebody else to do the work. Let's see. Clan O says, is that clan as in a gaming clan, or is that, did you misspell it and mean to put a K there? I'm just curious. I'm sorry. I don't know nothing about you. I should not say stuff like that. That's bad. I apologize. I sincerely apologize. Let me read what you said. I didn't even read what your words were. Clan says, it's why they never cared for flip-flop or insult. Can't we change our minds? That's right. That's right. That's true. Now, there are different circumstances. Again, apologies, Clanner. Like I said the joke before I even... I'm a bad Chris. That's a great point. A very valid point. Xavier Renown says, go Trump. Thank you for joining us. No true Scotsman. No true Scotsman. I cast no true Scotsman. Fallacy. Cuddly Unicorn. That's what Trump and the maggots do. That's right. Lots of chat. The chat goes fast. Oh, hey. Oh, my. Ollie's in here. He's coming in to say hi and check on me and make sure the show is running good. Our show's computer engineer is here. He's just checking in. Uh-oh. Apparently he's pulled an all-nighter getting the graphics going on for the show. Say hello to Ollie. There we go. Is he going to sit down there is he going to sit in puppy cam zone? Let's see, is the puppy cam even working? There it is. There's Ollie. There you go. You're on camera. Don't lick your crotch now. Do it when you're off camera. Or at least get it on the OnlyFans part. Odd conversation I had with my dogs there. You got to enjoy that. Yeah, somebody saw a picture. I saw a picture on Facebook yesterday, and it looked like a combination. Thank you, VK Wolfpelt. Thank you for subscribing. I saw a picture of a dog yesterday, and it looked like a combination of a wiener dog and a poodle. It was little white, essentially a wiener dog with white poodle hair all over. It's fabulous looking little dog. Cuddly Unicorn says, I'm a leftist. Kamala isn't a leftist. That's right. Kamala is like, yeah, she's not as left as you people make her out to be, but I'll take it. I'll damn sure take it over whatever the hell else is, being offered right now. And I really like where her and Tim Walz are going. Whether they're they may not be perfect. They may have some chinks in their armor that you may not agree with. They may not be addressing the issues that you feel like they need to be addressing necessarily right now. But when you consider the options, if you're a trans person or a trans individual and Kamala Harris is not supporting your rights enough in the fashion that you think she should be, and you're going to withhold your vote, you're hurting yourself, because Trump is going to do worse, very, very much worse. If you're a person who supports Israel or Gaza or either one of those parties for whatever reason, and you think Kamala Harris is worse for whichever side than you are for Trump, you're wrong. In any matter, Trump is going to make either one of those circumstances worse for everybody than Kamala Harris. I just don't get any thinking where Trump is going to make it, especially if you're on the side for Gaza and you're worried that Israel is putting too much pain into Gaza, because Trump will multiply that. He has no, at least the Biden-Harris campaign is trying to limit the destruction as much as they can as an outside source. That's complicated. I think they could be doing more. Complicated conversation. But you get my point. Good morning, Guitar Dog. Thank you for joining us. Our puppies appreciate the pup cups. Thank you. I think it's funny, he says, when theists accuse others of having a religion with negative connotations. I know, right? It's like, that's a stone. You're going to cast that stone right here from your own glass house. Okay. Good morning, Chaz. Let me catch up and see what's going on here. The Kentucky Atheist up here. Oh, wow. Wow, chat's going fast, guys. I appreciate you. I love y'all. We're tapping on 30 viewers. So, the more viewers we get, the faster it's going to go. So I'll do what I can. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. A left-handed Jedi says Trump wants to use the U.S. military against us citizens. That's true. He said it out loud. If you deny it, you're either an idiot or you just don't know. Cuddly Nitty. Good morning, Nitty. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. Let me catch up here. Thank you for subscribing. Mark says there's nothing so bad Donald Trump can't and won't make worse. True. China's not an atheist state necessarily. I don't know that's. I don't know how that works exactly with them. I need to do more research, Stephen, on that and find out how they feel about it. Well, atheism doesn't move their state. Not like a religious state moves a state. It's not the same. We know that though. Chaz says. Yeah, Chaz. Good morning, Chaz. Thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed, already subscribe, man. Come on. I'm actually going to be on the Kentucky Atheist show tomorrow night, I think it is. If I remember right, if my weed brain has allowed me to remember. Yeah, I believe I'm going to be on the show tomorrow night. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. So, yeah, nice to see you. Don't forget to subscribe. Gile, or is it Heil? With a J, I see it. Is it Heil? Bonus Nachos. Good morning, Heil. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I do believe there is no God. You actively believe there is no God. I appreciate your position, and I share that position. I believe there is no God at least. Jail. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. There is no God, at least not according to the Bible. Somebody recently presented me with a question at the philosophical question. And it's interesting because as I, as representing my view of science, It's 6:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Thank you very much. They've said, do you believe in other life forms like us out there in the galaxy, in the universe? And I'm like, there can't not be. It's just, there's so many, the sheer number of planets there must be, even in our own galaxy, let alone the trillions of galaxies times the hundreds of billions of planets in each. There's got to be another human race out there somewhere, another sentient being of some kind. And somebody hit me with this one time. I remember it's been a while back. And they're like, by that logic, surely over the billions of years, because, there's been like 16 billion years of the universe, and our planet in the solar system's only been around for 4, and in that time, right? So many things could have grown and died before we ever came. Anyway, the point was that in all of that time, billions of years, in all of those planets, is it possible that one godlike creature evolved and became like Q, for example, and is essentially what we would think of as an all-knowing, all-seeing, everywhere God, omniscient, omnipotent God? Is that not possible? And then my argument, as I have to go back to originally, was like, there's trillions of planets, hundreds of trillions, quintillions, if not, of planets, and billions of years. And surely something like that must have evolved. Isn't that interesting? What a philosophical turn. That doesn't say that it had to, I guess. I don't know. We'll noodle that together, Let me catch up on here on the chat. We do have a poll going, so if you voted, let me know if you voted. It's being a jerk. I think it's registering right. It's just not updating the numbers correctly. So don't let that, maybe it is. I don't know. So the movie could happen. Let me catch up on our chat here, though, real quick. Guitar Dog says, I don't fully reject gods. I'm fine with pantheism, deism, but God is not defined. That's a great point. A lot of people, like the founders of our country, were more deists. They thought there might be something bigger than us out there, but they didn't have a name, and it wasn't ugly, and it didn't follow them around to determine that their masturbation was unfortunate. You know what I mean? They didn't believe in that kind of God, most of them. Phantom X11, oi, good morning, or good afternoon, from the alleged other side of the world. Scipio says, all right, break over. Have a good one, everyone. Don't be a commie. You have a good one. Thank you for watching, Scipio. Appreciate it, even though your opinion is different. We do appreciate different opinions here. It's just don't like us spam, preach, or personally attack people, and we don't bounce people. You're awesome. Okay, thank you. E says, I just got finished saying, be nice, good to see you, all that stuff. E says, you are so full of shit with your fake clickbait title. Nothing happened to that McDonald's. You're such a liar. Yeah, this is funny, wasn't it? So Donald Trump on day one goes to McDonald's and pretends to work there, does not wear gloves, does not wear a mask, does not wear a hairnet, and serves fries. And the very next day, McDonald's is plagued by an E. coli outbreak over 10 states. I just think it's funny. I don't believe in God. The thumbnail and the title said, God smites McDonald's for Donald Trump because of its relationship with Donald Trump. So if you think that's like a lie, well, I can't help that. Because there is no God. And it was just funny. Except for the, obviously the victims of the E. coli. We're not going there, right? I don't mean any disrespect to that. But of course, I'm talking about Donald Trump. And E says we'll stop lying. Okay, I'll try. I'm trying. I'll try. Every time I lie, I will taser myself until I'm lying in a pool of my own urine. Xavier Voch, Zeravach says nobody knows how likely intelligent life is, so you cannot say it surely as likely as. Well, I mean, just kind of go look at the scientific studies on the percentage. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's just statistically the likelihood is, and then they ask the same question. Well, statistically, given that chance, isn't it likely? And I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's just a philosophical thought. Nitty says, who the F here is a commie? And what's wrong with being you gotta define commie. Communism it's not what you think it is. It's not, nobody here is a commie. If you're using the term commie to insult us, then clearly you don't know what a commie is. You don't know what it was, and you don't know what we are. and you're just kind of ignorant. And the more you speak, the more you expose your ignorance. I'm just saying. I do it all the time, so I'm quite experienced in exposing my own ignorance. At least it's only my ignorance I'm exposing nowadays. Guitar Dog says very few people are commies, and I don't know any. Yeah, it's not the same. It's not even right. It's not even the same. Chat move fast. Double talking. Hey, E, have you ever Never mind. Chat move fast. Maybe use more caps. That helps. All caps makes your point more clear. It's actually you and then an apostrophe RE. You're, as in you are an idiot. That has nothing to do with Trump. So you must be rage typing. I understand. Did they let you out of kindergarten early, or did you not have your nap this morning? You okay? Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug? Just curious. Fenton Mully, good morning. How are you doing? If you try to follow the chat, it's much easier on the chat setting, on the all chat setting. I'm on the one that's on the. I'm using the Streamlabs, so it's got the unified chat between Twitch and. So I can see the people over on Twitch talking at us. AH Beatmaker says Kamala probably would be doing it better if she were not under the umbrella of Sleepy Joe. Joe only makes bad things worse. They should have never ran Joe. Yeah, well, but yes, that's not the yeah. It's a whole different conversation. Is a commie enemy of the United States? Is the question asked by Intelligent Atheism. Which is, I don't think, an atheist nor intelligent, by the way. I've seen your comments. Anyway. Let's see. Let me catch up here. Communism is a subset of Marxism. There you go. You found a dictionary. But that's the whole thing. Whenever you think of like communist Russia and communist China, those were not necessarily communists. I mean, they were communists in a sense, but that showed what happened with the right-wing mentality, conservative right-wing power-hungry mentality gets power. And that's what happened in those circumstances in both cases. And we saw what happened. There's a left-wing mentality or a liberal progressive mentality. There's a conservative restrictive mentality of people in every society. And when the right-wing, if you will, progressive, or not progressive, but conservative, regressive party gets power, because that's always what they're seeking, they always end up hurting people. And they can call it a communist society, but it wasn't really in that sense. It was more like Russia turned into a full-blown fiefdom for Vladimir Putin. And it was easy to do because it was already set up that way. So you can't really... China is a different story, though. China is an interesting situation. I need to learn more about China. Let me catch up here. Using all caps is like yelling into the void. That's good. Good, yep. Yeah, the whole idea of socialism and all that business, calling somebody a socialist, especially in this group, yeah, I mean, that's not, you're not hurting my feelings. You know, fascists. You should be more worried about the fascists and the conservatives, the conservative fascists, the ones I was just talking about. Yeah. Mr. So Not So says, Kamala suffers from having sex with Alzheimer Joe. His disease started to affect her in the same way. You remember those things I was talking about, shame juice and not shame juice? Thank you, Simply Secular Dave. You could tell probably by the look on my face as to the situation that was going on in my brain. I very much appreciate you, Dave. That shit don't play here. Chrissy don't play that. So, yeah. Communist and fascist, monarchy, etc. are extreme positions on the far ends of the spectrum. The USA is in the middle with the rippers, and yeah. But even still, communism or fascism, whichever those politics, it all falls under, once you've got them within the political group, then the power struggle begins between the right and the left. And once the right takes over, that communist state becomes a communist, conservative, oppressive state. Because liberal people who want equality and freedom, don't oppress other people like that. We oppress them by giving them equality and freedom against their will. We oppress them by no longer allowing them to oppress other people, and that's where our oppression comes in, I think. Oh, son of a bitch. Son of the bitch. 1 second, I got something I got to fix. Simply Secular Dave says he's not a mod. Why not? I mean, what the hell? I can fix it. I think I can fix it. Give me a second. All right, now. Oh, there it is. 1 second, Dave. I'll make you a mod. There we go. Add as a moderator. Boop. Don't you hate responsibility? It sucks. And Cuddly Unicorn, wow, I can't really read the chat easier. It does seem to be that way. I just won't be able to read any of the but it does seem easier to read. Interesting. Cuddly Unicorn says Alzheimer's is what Trump's dad had, and it runs in the family. I tell you, my Louis body kicks in every now and then. I start feeling a little fuzzy myself. But again, I'm not running for president. Donald Trump, you can watch him in his speeches, and he can barely get to the end of a sentence. See how I noticed I had stopped in the middle of the sentence? I went on to the next one. I was like, oh shit, finish that last one first. And I went back and finished it. He can't do that. He's incapable of this type of mental traction. And it's only gotten worse. You can go on the internet and find comparisons of his debates from 2016, 2020, and now. And you can clearly see the man is in severe mental decline. And the people on the right, they cover it up. They hide it. They don't want everybody to know. They ignore it. They prop it up as some sort of like gift, because they just don't want you to know. They don't want to give in. He's got the power. He's got the control. They're just going to hide it as much as they can. He's just mentally losing it. Let me catch on here. Comedy. Sane-splaining. That's it. That's a good. I'm going to put it back over on there. I really think I can see it better there. Mikey Famine says the common term now is sane-splaining. That's a great example of how Donald Trump does something just ridiculous, and then the people, Fox or any of his orange-nosed sycophants, come on there, and all of a sudden they're like sane-splaining how, oh, this is what makes sense. And I've kind of done it. I watched that thing, and we'll talk about it. That's funny. I did it. You did it, Chris. I sane-splained for him. I watched that thing where he came out and the lady asked him about child care. And he gave a rambling answer that was just panned, criticized. Everybody was like, he can't keep his thoughts. He can't blah, 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 blah. And I went and watched it, and sure enough, he did have a point. He had a message. And he did stay on point most of the time. His point was that the amount of money that is needed to take care of childcare is a fraction of the money that he's going to make off of tariffs. That was the whole point, really. And occasionally, very briefly, he would sling off and start, but if somebody's going to do stuff, and he started blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, he really did stay on point. It was just so weird the way he was doing it. By going, well, that's just so small, and we're going to tariff the shit out of this, we're going to tariff the shit out of that. And for long, you're going, why the fuck is this guy talking about China and all this? We're talking about childcare in America, because in his mind, he really is on the same topic. He really was. And I found myself sane-splaining Donald Trump, going, well, yeah, he's an idiot. It doesn't make sense. In the real world, he's going to tariff the shit out of everybody, and the prices are going to go up. And then, of course, I had to make the point that nobody seems to really realize is that anytime the conservatives get more money, they don't give it to the poor people. They give it to the rich. So there's zero evidence that even if Trump's tariffs worked and they made a shit ton of money off of it for the country, there's no evidence they would give that money to the parents who need help with childcare. Chances are they would give it to the ultra rich. So Tariffs. No, yeah, I know. That's his only policy for the economy is tariffs. Tariffs. I'm gonna read tariffs. That's his policy. That's all I got. Is this the line for hell? Tucker Carlson. Yes, indeed it is. Get in line, baby. Just don't touch my butt this time. I mean, ask me first. This is a consent thing. Okay, you can. Good morning, Tucker Carlson. Liminal says tariffs is no economic policy. Very true. Nitty says, I want my children to be taught young earth creationism and the Bible as history. Over on the shelves of mythology, I believe, he says. A Trump Supreme Court would undo the establishment clause. That's true. That's very true. Sang-Ji says he needs top-tier generals like Hitler had, but doesn't realize they tried to kill Hitler a few times. Pumpkin Man is so dumb. It just boggles my mind, the ineptitude of this man. But we know that he is propped up. He's not doing all this by himself. He's propped up by Putin, by Steve Miller, by all these other people. There's a recent interview, Left-Handed Jedi said there's a recent interview where the interviewer asked Trump a question, and after a long rambling rant, he said, but the question was, which was nothing that I saw that. And no, I agree. Totally agree. I know which one you're talking about. The question was about Google, I think. And Donald Trump went off on something. He's like, something bothered me. They asked, well, what about Google? Was it Google? It may have been Google. What about Google and stuff? He's like, something bothered me that happened yesterday. Somebody did something, and this channel did something that really bothered me and pissed me off. And then he gets to the end, he's like, the question was about Google. And yeah, absolutely. Let me scroll down here. Not taught. Bannon. Steve Bannon is another example of one of those people who would help Trump perpetuate those things. And one of the things is, again, the MAGA right they're in bed with the Christian conservatives. I wouldn't be surprised. There's at least one think tank from the Christian conservatives that is helping mentally. Somebody's got to be writing out these plans. Somebody's got to be organizing these nationwide efforts to get people in office and to do all the things that they're doing on the shade. Somebody has to be doing that. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if it was a Christian-related think tank. They're using MAGAs and Trump to get their Christian dogmas put on and it's just a match made in hell. Right-wing MAGA and the Christian nationalists, or Nazis, if you will. Ways to Human says, does Trump even ever answer a question? He always goes off on some rant that is completely unrelated. Mikey Famine says, I've been doing some research on TikTok. Most Trumpers either don't know about Project 2025 or they feel like the Democrats made it up. Would not surprise me at all. And then there's the ones that agree with it. Those are the ones that are really scary. Jail says Heritage something. Yes, Heritage Foundation. Cuddly Unicorn, the Koch brothers. Yep. I thought they had actually kind of parted ways with Donald Trump a while back, the Koch brothers. Thought they had. I could be wrong. And it wouldn't surprise me if they'd changed their mind. Let's see here. Left-Handed Jedi says, look no further than the Heritage Foundation and the Seven Mountain Group. Exactly correct. And one of the things that I've said before about Trump is this. Trump, indeed, I don't think he has the intellectual capacity to have really anything to do with the plotting, planning, or strategies of 2025, beyond whatever rabble he spit out. But that's not the deal. He didn't have to create it. But what it is over there is it's a cloak of power that he didn't have anything to do with, but if he were to get in office, this group of people would offer him this cloak of power, and he would take it. So whether he actually admitted that he was part of it or that he helped write it or any of that business, you can't deny the sheer number of people that support him, worked for him, are actually over there doing it. And you can't deny what it says it will do for him and then how it supports him. So granted, he may try to distance himself from 2025, Project 2025. But again, it's a cloak of power that he would gladly turn around and allow them to put on him. So, only one brother left alive, I think, with the Koch brothers. Yeah. Simply Secular Dave says, to be fair, the Koch brothers will pay off whoever they can pay off. Well, they haven't tried to pay me off. And if you would, just put in a good word. I'm pay-offable. I really am. I have a number in mind. You hit me with a certain number, and you will never see my fat ass again. That's not true. I got words. I can't shut up. But yeah, you could buy me out. I'm waiting. I don't want, to be honest, I do not want the Koch brothers' monies. I want where's all that money that the liberal left, the conspiracies that the liberal left, where's that money I'm supposed to be getting? The atheist money. Where's the atheist money? What's his name? Oh, shit, that big business. I had it. He was right there. I'll think of it in a minute. He's supposed to be giving all of us atheist monies. Viking coffee mug. Yes, Vikings. Skull Vikings. I've been a Vikings fan for a long time. Soros. Thank you. George Soros money. Where are my Soros dollars? My Democrat dollars. My progressive pesos. My liberal lira. I want my money. I'd love me some Minnesota Vikings, but really the Vikings don't really represent me. I just got to get more Star Trek mugs, and finding mugs big enough is hard, but Vikings work at sports ball. I knew they were going to lose. They snatched defeat from the jaws of victory, and I wasn't surprised at all. I wasn't surprised. He's an atheist too. I could be paid to be silenced. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me do a thing. I'm going to, because it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm going to run a little commercial here so I can go take a break and grab me some more of the coffee stuff. Cucker Charleston says, I like to troll Pastor Greg Lott's chat and tell them Soros pays me to do it. That's awesome. I really ought to send an email. Hey, I'm over here spreading the good word for leftism and progressivism. You guys ought to send me some of them dollars. Steven says Garland is a Federalist Society member, which shows you why Trump virus is not in prison and being allowed out on bail to run for president again. Sad. Very true. One of the things that I've said before is that the Donald Trump and that group, the fact that he's even been sentenced, they've waited and sentenced him until after the election, but before power is taken. So even if he wins the election, he still has to face sentencing before he has the power to do anything about it. I don't see that. I don't think he's going to be able to do anything about it. Vikings are pretty good this year, Guitar Dog. They are. I'm excited. But I tell you what, here's what I know about the Vikings this year. Since you guys want to talk sports ball and you're going to twist my arm, pull off my fingernails, I watched them the first 4 games of the season, and they looked really good. Was it 4 or 5? Four games of the season. 5? Maybe when I watched them. They won every one of them, but almost every one of them, what they did was come out early really hard and get like the first quarter, all their points. And then the rest of the game was them struggling to not lose. And my concern was what would happen when they ran up against a good team. They ran up against a good team, the Detroit Lions. In the first part of the game, just as they had done before, they did a really good job of getting ahead. But then they struggled and got behind and were never able to catch back up. But what did give me hope was, despite the fact that they did get behind, they almost caught up. So that means that they're not just right at the beginning and that's it. They are right at the beginning, and then they get weak, but they do have some comeback in them, I believe. So hopefully they can go on and continue, and we'll just see how it goes. But thank you for letting me out on that. Yeah, everybody votes tacos. So HH Beatmaker says you have to be connected in the leftist power structure to get the Soros money. That's good to know, and I want you to know that I am working on that. I'm building the channel as fast as I can. They'll see me and they'll be like, we like this son of a bitch. Let's give him some of our Soros dollars. Michael Art, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you again. It's nice to have you. And we appreciate the initial blessing and appreciate the sentiment behind it. But we don't really take preaching in our chat, so let that be how it goes. And we love our believers, but just don't threaten anybody and stuff like that. We'll have a good time. Thank you. It's odd that I should have to say that whenever a believer comes in. Don't threaten anybody. Babies. Zeus blesses you, Michael. He does. Zeus thinks about you a lot, especially when you touch yourself. Robert Madwell is back. Thank you very much. We were worried. We were wondering where you went. Mr. So Not So. There you go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a thing real quick. I'm going to go top off my coffee. You guys are wonderful. I think today you deserve the all caps Bible because, you know, the best way to get the message across of peace and love and harmony, forgiveness, is by shouting it. Do you love Jesus? Do you love America? Do you love yelling at strangers? If you answered yes, then there is a new version of the good book for you. The All Caps Bible. The All Caps Bible has everything from the sacred text you would expect. God creates the world in 6 days. Noah saves bunnies from the great flood. Jesus preaches God's message in the Sermon on the Mount. However, the All Caps Bible levels up the message by putting everything in all caps. That's right, you don't have to go to church to hear God's message yelled at you. This Bible will yell at you while you're reading it. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Christians love the All Caps Bible. Here are a few reviews. Mason in Dallas, Texas says, I don't feel guilty anymore yelling at the Starbucks barista. Karen in Oklahoma says, Jesus' message of forgiveness is better when you yell it. And Tommy in South Bend says, who knew the little drummer boy was such a jerk? Buy the All Caps Bible right now and get a loudspeaker so you too can spread the good news. You get everything for a low, low cost of $89.99. All right, thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed one of our, it's one of our older commercials. Andy Hall helped us put that together. If you're a new person, you haven't seen the show before, please subscribe. Let me check and see where we're at. We recently broke 2,000 subscribers. 2,000 members of the damn nation. 2,000 fellow burners out there. It just gets me all in here. Okay, let's see. 2021, we have gained more. Like 11 subscribers since I woke up this morning. It is going well. I don't even have a video running. We just got some good show going on. You guys are wonderful. Our race is to 3,000. Right? Obviously, the 3,000. So if you're watching the show, subscribe if you haven't. Share me out on your craziness. We do all kinds of stuff. I do the Daily Atheist Morning Show. And look in the description. You'll see links. I have the top 10 reasons why Christianity is a blood cult video down there. Go click that. And I also have Christianity's Shame, the Evil God Monster of Abraham series. Go check that out. Links in below. Also, for the new people, I got merch. Click on the links. We've got Patreon, Pup Cups. We've got all the things. So go support the channel if you can, if you don't mind. We would love it. Our puppies would love it. And, of course, we've got the puppy cam. Here's Ollie, our computer engineer. I just kind of want to show him off because he works so hard. He's exhausted by the time the show starts. So, okay, enough of that. Let me catch up on our chat here. The Daily Atheist Morning Show, Simply Secular Dave asks, what's the most sinful Halloween costume? That's a good question. So I'm going to be on a show next week for a Halloween special over on the Skeptic Haven channel. I've been trying to decide what I should be for Halloween for that show. We should think about it. Any suggestions, guys? Now, to that point, I feel that the most sinful Halloween costume would be the Catholic priest costume with a little little puppet sewn to the front of a little altar boy sewn to the front of it. That would be hilarious to me. But then okay, so while you guys chew on that for a minute, I gotta see something. If I've got something here, I want to see. Hold on a minute. Oh, my mom. Let me see if it's here. If I've got something here, and I'll play it for you. I don't know if it's here though. Audio? No, it's not gonna be here. Because I've never played it for you on the show, but I do have a thing called Father Flanagan's line of inflatable altar boys coming to a Walmart near you. And I think you'd really enjoy it if I played that for you. But I don't want to spend too much time looking for it. You might want me to look for it now that you know what it's about. But I think I want to turn that into a pretty funny little commercial as well. Sinful costume is your birthday suit. Really? Maybe. I think, though, that the Catholic priest costume with an altar boy sewn to the front crotch as if bad things were happening would be a really bad, sinful, ugly costume. That was the question that was asked. Let's see. Captive Desk. Good morning, Captive Desk. Thank you for joining us. My answer to most questions, Bigfoot, kind of cool. It looks like we're hitting the 30s again. God equals the square root of 1 says a PDF file, priest costume. Yes, that's what I was saying. That's the one I was actually saying. But yeah, we're hitting 30s again today, guys. Look at us grow. We're growing very well. It took me 8 months to hit the 30s on the Daily Atheist Morning Show before, and even then it wasn't sustained. So, man, you guys are wonderful. Salt of the Red Earth. Good morning. How are you doing today? Nice to see you. We've been doing the thing. We were here sinning without you, but you're here now, so that makes it all better. Robert Madwell says, and I got to give it to you, there's a thin line between profound and profane. And I think you're right. My idea of a priest costume would be a little more on the profane. There's one thing about raising awareness. The other one's about raising pitchforks. I don't know if I want to raise a pitchfork or two. Yeah. But hey, it's apropos. C'est apropos. Apropos. Let me catch up here. Thank you guys for being so awesome. The Moon God Sin. That's a great one. I like that. Scotty the Gray. Hey, Scotty the Gray. Thank you for joining us. We're going to, while I got you guys, I got a captive audience and there's, wow, in the 30s of you. Let me go ahead and tell you all again that this is the damn show, the Daily Atheist Morning Show. Well, starting Friday, at least we're going to start a run Friday. We're going to do the Damned Show. It's going to be the Daily Atheist Morning Show, nighttime edition. And we're going to run it at 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to do something similar. Me and Scotty, the Scotty, not Scotty the Gray, different Scotty, I believe. The Scotty are gonna start this show. It's going to be so we're going to call it the Damned Show, Daily Atheist Morning Show, Evening Edition. Wile E. Coyote, super genius. So that's what we're going to do. Look forward to that. There are links down below. Click on the link to the premiere episode and pop over there and click the notify button and show up and join us. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little different. We'll see how we can do things. It's going to be I think we're going to be a little more political geared. We're going to start out with a news piece, I believe, and see how it goes. We're going to start it out, do some news, and then have some fun and see how it goes. All right. Thank you for following Clan O over there. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. See, we're growing on TikTok. That's a Twitch follower. Much appreciated. Thank you for that. And let me refresh the page here and see where we're at on we're 2021. 2022. We're doing great. We are just growing fantastically. And what I'm going to do is after the show's over this morning, I'm going to go record another profoundly important episode. It's going to be the top 10 reasons why Christianity is bad for society, and I'm going to hopefully drop that later today. So be looking for that. Where are we at here? Because I got another. Some of you guys are new and you haven't seen this show before, and I posted the all caps commercial, but I got a couple other things I haven't shown in a while, so some of you new guys might enjoy it and give me a little bit of a break. Thank you for following. There's truth to be found in the profane. That's a very good way to put it, Robert. Can we hit 2024 in 2024? Well, oddly enough, let's see here. Let me show you. It's not if we can hit 2024 in 2024. It's a matter if we can hit 2024 in less than 24 more minutes, because we're going fast. It's up to 2022 now. I'm grateful for that. That's awesome. And one of the reasons is because of my video, this top 10 reasons why Christianity is a blood cult, has really been going off. It's kind of leveled off now. It's done. You know how they kind of pop off. But man, 7.2 thousand views, 185 subscribers off that one video. Rocking it. These people like my crazy. Let me check. Oh, something interesting going on here. Clan X says, damn, I start work at 9, night shift. I see. Yeah. 9 Eastern. Is that what time you start, Clan X? Instead of typing in the chat, is there also an option to go see the poll on the webpage? No, there's not. That's just a poll real quick that I put on this particular, I put it up yesterday. To be honest, though, if you go to my YouTube channel, I do put up a poll question almost every day. I say every day for the past 3 days. And today the question is, I don't know, there's a poll question up there. Go check it out. I think it's, is God Jesus? Are they one and the same? So I do have that poll going on over at on the channel itself. Let's see. The entries could all be sex scandals. Okay, yeah. Pragmatic Crystal, blood cult. That's the one. Chris, the entries could all be sex scandals. I'll noodle that one out in a minute. Figure out. There we go. All right, so let me go back here. And I think we're done with Christopher Hitchens. And we hit the 9 o'clock hour. And there we go. I want to lean back on to my buddy here. Now, this is not Brian Tyler Cohen. This is, what's his name? David Pakman. I really enjoy some David Pakman. I got this set up for us to watch. Check this out. Let's see what happens here.
This is something we could be right or wrong about. I mean, if we've
No, not you, Sam.
Donald Trump holding a rally in Greenville, North Carolina yesterday, so depraved and deranged that the audience seemed visibly terrified. At one point, Donald Trump went on a long, incomprehensible rant about balls of fire and rocket ships. And then, in case anyone was doubting it, he insisted, I am not cognitively impaired.
Okay, I want to point out real quick while we've got this kind of going on. My ears are itching. So somebody's talking about me. Hold on a second. Let me scratch my ear holes. So this, my friends, is what I look like with ears. Oh, man. That's what I look like with ears and without glasses. There we go. Back to my Muppet style. If you'll notice here with Donald Trump, hello. If you'll notice here, the Pillow Man. I don't know if David Pakman's going to go into the Pillow Man, but the Pillow Man, notice the $14.88 price on that. That's a right-wing, not a right-wing, but a white supremacist number. Having something to do with them. I hope he goes over it. I haven't watched this video because I'm lazy.
I am completely fine in every way.
You know Elon Musk? I said I do. In fact, he endorsed me like so beautifully. His endorsement was one of the most beautifully written endorsements. That's in between those rocket ships that go up and down all the time. I mean, how cool was that, though, right? Yeah. I'm watching this thing. I said, what's going on? I had no idea. I was on the phone with a friend, just to make it a little bit longer story. I was on the phone talking to a very important guy, actually, and I have the television muted. It's dead.
Yep, Simply Secretary Dave says, I've found that Pakman has done too many personal attack pokes and jabs lately. It's unnecessary in his content, but I understand why he does it. I get it too. I do it. But the thing I've noticed, I also noticed something similar with Brian Tyler Cohen, that his used to be really kind of straight news just informing, and he still does that, but now it's like at the end of one of his points, he'll say something that's more direct jab. Do we have to take this kind of bullshit from this, or whatever. He'll do something that's a little, I find, out of character, but it's always appropriate. I mean, well, it's not appropriate, but it's in character, I think is better said.
Muted, and I see this ball of fire coming, like a 20-story building. It's coming down, I say, would you do me a favor? Hold it. I've never said, what the hell is happening? I thought maybe it switched over to a movie or something. And I put the phone down. Very important guy. You know what? I never picked it up. The guy was holding for like 45 minutes. I forgot he was on the phone and now there all these idiots back there will say he's cognitively impaired because he put the...
Trump recognizes that these rants come off like cognitive decline. He's acutely aware of it. It's not a coincidence. Trump doesn't show up and say, welcome everybody, it's so great.
Sanji says David Lane smiling in prison every time he sees the number 14 from this. Yeah, it's an in-joke. People are just not, I get it.
Great to be here. Marjorie Taylor Greene is here and Mike Prillo is here. And I'm not cognitively impaired though. Trump does it when his brain catches up to the absurdity of what he's saying and doing. He knows he seems like he's a cognitive mess at these particular moments, and that's why he chooses to bring it up. But hilariously, Donald Trump is continuing to obsess about and focus on Kamala Harris and saying, no one will talk about the cognitive problems of my opponent.
She's a mess. She's a cognitive mess, and nobody wants to talk about it.
The reason that no one other than Trump is talking about the cognitive mess of Kamala Harris is because she's so obviously cognitively fine. You can make reasonable critiques of Kamala Harris. You can say sometimes.
I want to pause for just a moment here and tell you a tiny quick story. God equals the square root of 1 says he lies with his hands. Good point. Yesterday morning, I was sitting here getting ready for the show, and I was looking for things to what to show on the show. And Brian Tyler Cohen was interviewing a cult expert. I don't know how to do that one. He's interviewing a cult expert and about Donald Trump and the cult of personality surrounding Donald Trump. And the cult expert's sitting there. I may get to try to see if I can find the video for you just to show you what I'm talking about. Maybe tomorrow, because I always forget, so never mind. But the cult guy's sitting there, and he's just kind of calm. When it's his turn to speak, instantly he goes to blah and holding his hands up, and then like he did not say anything. There was nothing that he didn't say that wasn't calculated, constant. Anytime he was speaking, his hands were going in these movements to help you realize that what you're doing and we're working together and all this. And I'm sitting here watching and going, wow, it's one thing to do it. Like I've seen Kamala Harris do it. The reason why I mentioned it, I've seen her do it on stage, and she does kind of get a bit with her hands going, but this was just blatant. There's a thing about a method about showing the palm of your hand shows you're not a threat. And there's, bringing us together. And there's all these hand gestures. Donald Trump kind of does it with the accordion kind of thing. But it's actually literally a technique to use to help people understand. And whenever I was watching this guy, a cult expert, a person who's into mental coercion, that's part of his whole bag, to see him immediately start doing that, I thought, man, that's creepy. Anyway, it may have been, I'll have to look up and see. I'll play this video here and I'll kind of look in my history and see if I can find it for you. Wait. Sorry, you guys can't hear. You're just looking at the side of my head. Let me back this up a little bit. Sorry.
Is talking about the cognitive mess of Kamala Harris is because she's so obviously cognitively fine. You can make reasonable critiques of Kamala Harris. You can say sometimes she is not prepared to explain exactly how she enacts a certain policy. She doesn't seem ready to say, this is something that I could and would do via executive order, or that I would have to build consensus on with the House and Senate, and therefore the House and Senate election, right? That's a criticism. Sometimes she says, here's my policy. How will you do it? It's not really clear. Fair criticism. You could correctly argue sometimes Kamala Harris goes on too long, not substantively, about the idea of something and starts to lose the crowd. Okay, I don't think it happens often, but it's happened. It's great to welcome the idea that Kamala.
Okay, I have found it. So let's change this conversation up here and let's go over here. This is the guy I was talking about. Here we go. Now I may have just been making it all up in my mind, seeing things into something that ain't there. But let's watch this together and see what you think. Do you think this guy is not very intentionally trying to manipulate with his hands? Let's watch this show here.
The program today, Dr. Stephen Hassan, world-renowned cult expert and author.
And whoever got it, somebody in the chat got it right. Let's see, who said Dr. Simply Secular Dave. Yes, it was him.
Of the cult of Trump, a leading cult expert explains how the president uses mind control. Now the former president, and also, by the way, now with a new foreword by George Conway. It's great to have you on again. We've been kind of talking to and about Trump supporters who we interview at rallies sometimes and other places. And there's this intuitive feeling I have, having read about a number of different cult leaders that there's some similar mechanisms that are happening here. But as a non-expert on cults, it's hard for me to kind of qualify them. Talk to us a little bit about what you see that would qualify at least some followers of the former presidents as sort of being in a cult type scenario.
And here we go.
Oh, thanks, David, for having me back. I love your show. So part of the thesis of the cult of Trump is, first of all, that Trump has the stereotypical profile of a cult leader, which is what Eric Fromm called malignant narcissism, something George Conway has been promoting.
That's the first time that his hand has not been visible since he started speaking, by the way. I'm just mentioning that. Let's see how long it lasts.
In terms of his anti-psychopath
there, it's back.
Yeah.
And everything to try to say, look, this is
okay. I got to get that up on my screen here. I just wanted to close that poll because it's pissing me off. So the poll is closed. Let me get up here. Now we can see.
Dangerous psychopathic person. We don't want him anywhere near power. So that's part of the cult of Trump. But to answer your question, what I realized was that there are actual authoritarian cults in the cult of Trump. And we're talking about tens of millions of people in.
Now, again, at this point, his hands have not been on the screen for just a mere couple of seconds whenever I pulled it up, whenever I mentioned it.
Groups like the New Apostolic Reformation churches and megachurches.
Mm-hmm.
And the media has missed the mark by calling them Christian evangelicals, in my opinion, because I have friends who are Christian evangelicals.
There you go. They finally left the screen again. I wonder how long they're going to leave the screen. Let me say hello to Gunga Din. Thank you for joining us. He says he is going to win. Get used to the psycho. I hope you're wrong. Giles says he's looking Roger Stone. Looks like Roger Stone's brother. He does. This guy does kind of look like a Roger Stone, doesn't he? He really does. Like the skinnier version of Roger Stone. I thought he looked a little familiar. I just didn't put the two and two together. Let me see here. Let's let him go on. But let's see about his hands. Anybody else? Am I the only one who's noticed anything about this guy's hands? Okay, let's see.
Evangelicals who follow Jesus
Back
and the
up again.
Bible. And what's different about these groups is they're self-proclaimed prophets or apostles who say...
And you know, this guy is keenly aware of where the screen is, of his framing. You know, have you seen like his hands whenever they do disappear? I mean, he keeps them right in. He's very keenly aware of what he's doing. Of that, I have zero doubt.
I speak to God, and God told me Trump won the 2020 election. And they use phobia programming, my BITE model of authoritarian control behavior.
There you go. Somebody in the chat said something about his BITE model. I'll have to go check that out.
Information, thought, and emotional control to create a pseudo-identity that's dependent and obedient on them. You know, and it's because the leaders are saying we have to do...
I got to be honest, I have almost no idea what this guy is saying. I've been so distracted by his hands. I don't listen to him. Any time he has spoken, he may be my next spirit animal. He may be saying things that are just rocking my world. I'm just so distracted by his hands. I don't know. It'd be nice to have him on the show. I just want to make sure I get his framing right for him. But man,
do what God wants, which is elect Trump. They're following their prophet more than they're following Trump. Not to say that there aren't people who are infatuated by Donald Trump too, because there are, chapter 7 and 8 have many different cults within the cult of Trump. But the point is that when you're in a mind...
Good morning, made by Jim Bob. New name I haven't seen before. Thank you for joining us. He says, or they say, he's doing pseudo-psychologizing. Yeah. He's absolutely trying to manipulate.
Set where you're unable to consider the possibility you might be in error or that there may be information that you're missing. If you're so certain... And you know.
Do you guys remember recently, a couple of months back, whenever Elon Musk's CEO that he had a baby with, I think, from X came out and she did a little speech about how they were the advertisers were stifling their First Amendment rights by not advertising with them or something. And she came out and she did a very similar thing. She wasn't nearly as good at it as this guy, but she did the whole, I mean, I talk with my hands, but you know, now that's the whole thing. Cuddly Unicorn says he is spitting truths. Dr. Hassan's spouting truths. again, he may be. I'll probably have to rewatch it without the video, just listen to it and to get the message. Salt of the Earth says he enunciates a little too well. It's weird. And it may be part of the same shtick to make sure you get the message. I like the guy. He's wonderful. I'll hug him and pinch his bottom order. Simply Secular Dave says, no personal insults, no slurs, no fouls, no language. Be nice. He's talking to so, not so. Yeah, just don't go with the personal insults and stuff like that. No, Jim Bob is a Nazi. Is a known Nazi. Yeah, well, I got moderators take care of that stuff. As soon as he steps out of line, she'll taser him until he's lying in a pile of his own urine. Let's see. Left-Handed Jedi says he's incapable of feeling anything for anyone else, typically sociopathy, and cannot be wrong or take credit for mistakes, narcissism. I'm no expert. And this is, that's right on Donald Trump, of course. Let's get back to this guy here. Good morning, Bree. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're doing great.
That's the danger points that I want to urge everybody to step back and go, whoa, because we're human, and it's critical that we have information. And
he finally put his arms away, put his hands under his arms. You see that? I wonder if that's a psychological thing that he did that. It's going to help me if he continues to speak. Let's see here.
Evidence to make good decisions.
That was just a sign that he was done talking, I think, that whenever he put his hands away. Let's check that out. I dig it. It's clearly a psychological thing, and the guy knows his stuff about psychology.
I want to urge everybody to step back and go, whoa, because we're human, and it's critical that we have information and evidence to make good decisions.
One of the things I've noticed or thought about is that sometimes we, our correspondent Luke Beasley or someone from a right-wing network will interview a Trump supporter, and they will say, for example, with total confidence, that Donald Trump is currently the president of the United States. Now, we've talked amongst ourselves sort of about, are those claims literally believed to be true by the people who say them?
And I'm keen to see. Now, I notice his hands have been down this whole time. I know this is not our typical conversational topic, it's a little bit of a distraction, but again, good morning, Bree. Thank you for joining us. We were talking about you earlier. Jim Bob hates women because Hollywood actress comedian Jennifer Hall broke his heart about a decade ago. So you're familiar with this individual, clearly.
Or is it sort of like, for example, with Jim Jones?
I would argue she probably broke his heart and rejected him because he was a douchebag towards women back then. I wouldn't think somebody like that started then. That's just like a flexion point for him.
There were followers of Jim Jones who certainly repeated, they were on message, they were saying the things, but they weren't saying it because they necessarily believed it. They saw it as how you kind of prove your membership in the group, for lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
I've got the evil one has spoken. And she says that he looks like Data. And you know what? I think that's right. He does look like Brent Spiner, doesn't he? He does look a lot like, but he really does look like Data.
It is one or the other, the literal belief versus the I'm saying it to show I'm part of the team. Is one or the other more common among cult followers?
So this is a graphic that I have on my freedomofmind.com website. It's in the Cult of Trump. And I have a more detailed one for the Cult of Trump, actually. It's black and white. But most people in any cult are what I call fringe members. They align.
Looking at you, Christians.
But they still have some sense of self, and they may be saying what they want to say in order to be in the in-group. Very different than the core followers who would kill on.
Oh, that's a great one. Jail says if Data and Roger Stone had a baby. That's excellent. Yeah, he does have that look.
Command, die on command, do whatever they're told. Think that they need to do a civil war, for example. And what I've learned as a mental health professional, frankly, is to treat each person with respect as an individual and actually have engaged, respectful, curious conversation.
Noonien Sung. Yeah, good skinny Noonien Sung. That's a good one. I like that.
Where you ask questions that encourage people to think for themselves. And what I see in the media are people going to Trump rallies, putting a microphone, being self-identified as a media person, and the way they're asking questions is going to elicit a cultic framework. And
is that a defense mechanism to a degree, that they see this person from the media, they're coming in, I perceive them as maybe challenging me or my beliefs, and therefore I am going to recite the things I'm supposed to recite?
Not consciously. So part of what I want to convey to your listeners.
So Hate Speech Good, welcome to the channel, says Jim Bob seems like a nice guy. Yeah, I mean, certainly someone you'd want to bring home to mom, you know? Yeah, sarcasm. That's sarcasm. Let's see here. Account of Jimmy's. Well, I don't know about that. Pragmatic Crystal says, you must be, I'm just waiting. I've seen only one comment, and I'm kind of waiting to see what Hate Speech Good says after that. Because so far, with a name like that, it's got to be good. I'm just waiting to see. So if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Like, share, spread my craziness. I've got about another half hour, and I'm going to go do something else. Actually, I may cut out a little early because I'm going to go do something. But you know how me, I always say, I'm going to cut out early, and then I talk and rattle, and we continue on about this business. I've also got, if you're simple, good people on both sides, right? Yeah. No, there really kind of weren't. That's cool. Something did something. It made a noise. I heard it. Or maybe I had a stroke. Anyway, could have been both. Go ahead and subscribe, guys. If you're into the Patreon thing or supporting the channel, I've got all kinds of support ways you can support the channel. Pup Cups help my support team, all that business. It feels weird to do a commercial in the middle of a show, but hey, I'm actually looking for sponsors. So I'm looking for a sponsor like for coffee. So in the middle of the show, I go, hey, I'm Chris and I drink this brand of coffee. Well, right now, why don't I just go show my own shit? Hey, I'm Chris. I wrote a book. Click down there, buy the damn book, be a patron, buy some merch, and now I'm done. All right, moving on. Oh, is it your first time here, Jail? Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I appreciate it. The puppy cam, you want to see puppy cam? Okay, we got a puppy on puppy cam. I don't really have the light on. Let me fire up the light here. Yes, that makes it better. So you can see the cotton ball on top of cotton balls. Yeah, the evil one is home today, so the puppies are all in there with her, and except for the newest puppy, Ollie. Oh, come here, buddy. I know, Papa wakes you up all the time. This is Ollie. He's our newest computer engineer, our newest technician. He's our computer engineer. He's a sort of a multi-poo. He looks like a multi-poo, but he's not. And he's like, Papa, I do not. He's like, I want to lay down there. I want to go down there. Okay, yeah. So he's our newest member of our team. So he's fantastic, isn't he? He's something else. I have to, every night before we go to bed, I have to take and put ear stuff in there in his ears. This deadens the itch, because if I don't, he wakes me up at like 2 o'clock in the morning scratching his ears, but he doesn't like it. So if he sees me coming with it, I put it on my finger and I gotta rub it in. If he sees me coming, he'll go hide from me. It's terribly cute. He's a wonderful little dog. Cutest, yes, they're wonderful. But thank you all for joining me. We hit 40. This is the second day this week we've hit 40 viewers. You guys are wonderful. Thank you very much. So not so, you and Dave are arguing. Wonderful. You guys keep that up. Simply Secular Dave asks, is my puppy a blend or poly cotton? yeah, he's a blend. He looks just like if you said multi-poo, go look a multi-poo up on the internet. Coloring, everything, he looks like a multi-poo. We got a DNA. We ran a DNA test on him, and he's got a lot of things in him. Everything. I don't think there's any actual multi-poo in there. But there's a lot of things in there that are like popular dogs that end up making him look like this, and I don't know. He's gorgeous, though, and he really captures our heart. He's just been so sweet and so wonderful. Not a dog person or animals for that person. Hate speech good. Yeah. I don't like you then. Pragmatic Crystal, why is he still in the chat? If you don't like dogs, bounce their ass. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Do not Google multi-poo. No, not as 2 words. Do it 1 word. Maybe add the word dog. Yeah. Just kind of throwing out there. Yeah, he's a blended whiskey. He's a wonderful little dog. Dogs are my favorite people, to be honest. I'd rather talk to any of your dogs than you. No offense to anybody, of course. Skeptically Pissed, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Says, anyone that doesn't like dogs is suspect to me. Indeed, indeed. You know, I mean, yeah, there was a guy I did a play with recently. I did a Shakespeare play, and it was The Tempest. And we had somebody, he was a nice guy, I guess, sort of, seemed like a nice guy. Walked into the room one day, into the changing room, and he was yelling at this 19-year-old, or I think she was about 17 to 19, some costumer. And what they were arguing about was that he didn't think that the people who've taken student loans should be relieved of those loans. And the point was that, you know, they're kind of predatory loans. They were predatory loans that they were lashed under. We agree they've already paid back what a reasonable loan would have paid back, and it's the unreasonable part that we're trying to, you know, kind of, and then anybody else. But he was screaming at this girl. He is an educator. He works as a teacher, and he started yelling at me, and I'm like, you know what? We could like cut just one freaking aircraft carrier trip to South America and back and pay for all that. And he was screaming about me, about how he's an educator and he knows more about policies and all this other business. And I thought, man, what a douchebag. I even went, Trump, 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 you know, because I'm a dick. Anyway, later on, come to find out, he hates dogs. He was sitting there telling us in a group that he wished he could carry a shotgun around, and if a stray dog walked up to him, he could just blam. And I was like, man, you already revealed your character to me. And I had nothing more to say or do with that person afterwards. I did not. No. The wife is listening to this. She can be like, yeah, I'll tell her. If she forgot, I'll remind her about who it was. But yeah, if you feel that way about dogs, you don't even need to be near me, because me and you do not agree on anything. Ways to Human says, all my pets are rejects, shelter dogs, foster fail, abandoned cat, feral cat, and 2 kittens from a stray mama cat. That is wonderful. We have not 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, but 5 dogs. The first one was a Cavapoo. She's mostly Cavapoo. We bought her. We got together. We wanted to find that little thing that made our marriage perfect, and it happened to be a dog. And she's so cute. She's Sadie. Whenever you see the little strolling down here on under the screen there, let's see if I can point at it. Sadie, right? Fixing to come up right in just a second after Ollie. And now she's all white-faced because she's old. But that was our first one we got, and we bought her like a designer dog. But then we kind of became more aware of the foster dog and rescue dog situation, and we really started rescuing and fostering ever since. And the rest of them are all fosters and rescues. Well, none of them, we didn't foster any dog. We just rescued them. Let me catch up. Captive Desk says, we have 2 dogs, a cat, and a lot of goldfish. Oh, pardon me. Really? Do the cats ever bother the goldfish? Is that ever a thing? Because you just have a pond. So the pond's outside and the cats are inside, I'm guessing? Just curious. Okay. Hey, theoretically, thank you for joining us. Man, we topped out at 40 today, buddy. Yeah, we've been doing good. Yeah, I'm fixing to shut down the show. I'm going to go run away screaming. I'm going to go get breakfast for the wife, and we're going to have a fun time. Well, I say that. She's homesick, so I'm going to go have a breakfast burrito and listen to her tell me about all the things I did wrong on the show. Yeah, so, but as again, I want to say again, I've got links down below. I've got a new show coming up, guys. It's called The Damned Show, the Daily Atheist Morning Show, evening edition. And we're going to do it Friday night, starting Friday night. Me and Scotty, we're going to start it off. And I don't know, we're going to work on it and see what happens. So join us and don't forget to like and subscribe and all that. Inside cat, so he doesn't see the fish. The dogs like them, though. I imagine. Well, I think here's what I'm going to do, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm going to go, and I'm going to go do that voodoo that I do somewhere else. You have a wonderful day. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Please subscribe. If you're down to being a Patreon or a Pup Cup or any of that business, please support the show. I very much appreciate you. Any support you can give. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you tomorrow whenever we do the Daily Atheist Morning Show. And don't forget to hit those links. Go check out that damn show and get you some Daily Atheist Morning Show merch. You guys are wonderful. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.